Look up at the night sky on a clear evening, and you'll see more than just twinkling lights. You'll witness a tapestry of stories written across the cosmos. For thousands of years, civilizations have gazed at those same stars and seen not just points of light, but heroes, monsters, and epic tales etched into the heavens. The ancient Greeks saw Orion the Hunter forever chasing the Pleiades, while the Maya traced the path of the maize god through the Milky Way. These aren't just random patterns, they're fragments of humanity's oldest stories, passed down through generations, each one a bridge between Earth and the infinite. What if I told you these celestial narratives hold secrets far deeper than mere mythology, that woven into their constellations are clues about how our ancestors understood the universe, and perhaps how we still do today? This is the heart of the 44 timeless cosmic narratives, stories that transcend cultures, epochs, and even science itself. They're more than myths, they're a mirror reflecting humanity's eternal fascination with the stars. Think about it, long before telescopes or space probes, people used the night sky as a canvas for their dreams, fears, and deepest questions. The same stars that guided sailors across oceans also shaped religions, inspired art, and sparked the first inklings of astronomy. But here's the astonishing part: many of these stories share uncanny similarities across continents, as if the cosmos whispered the same truths to every civilization. What were they trying to tell us, and why do these ancient tales still resonate so powerfully in our age of space telescopes and quantum physics? That's the journey we're about to take together, a voyage through time and space where mythology meets science and the stars become storytellers. We'll unravel how the Babylonians mapped destiny in the movements of planets, how Polynesian navigators used star paths like roadmaps across the Pacific, and why the constellations of the Inuit hold winter survival wisdom encoded in their patterns. Along the way, you'll discover how these celestial stories shaped everything from calendars to architecture, and perhaps even glimpse what they reveal about our place in the universe. So find a quiet spot, imagine the night sky stretching above you, and let's begin, because the greatest stories ever told weren't written in books, they were written in starlight. Of all the constellations blazing across the night sky, few capture the imagination like Orion, the mighty hunter. His belt of 3 bright stars is instantly recognizable, a celestial landmark that has guided travelers and storytellers for millennia. But the tale of Orion isn't just one story, it's a tapestry of myths, each culture weaving its own narrative into those same stars. The ancient Greeks saw him as a giant, doomed by the sting of a scorpion placed in the sky by the gods, forever locked in an endless chase. Yet look further back, and you'll find the Egyptians gazing at those very same stars and seeing Osiris, the god of rebirth, his outstretched arms mirroring Orion's pose. To them, this constellation was a symbol of resurrection, tied to the Nile's annual floods and the promise of renewal. What's astonishing is how modern science adds another layer to these ancient tales. Peer through a telescope at Orion's sword, and you'll find the Orion Nebula, a swirling cloud of gas and dust where new stars are born. It's a cosmic nursery, a place of creation that eerily echoes the Egyptian idea of rebirth. Could it be that our ancestors, without telescopes, sensed something profound about this patch of sky, that its shimmering glow hinted at deeper truths about life and death written in the stars? And the connections don't stop there. The Dogon people of Mali, with their intricate astronomical knowledge, linked Orion to their origin myths, while the Maori of New Zealand saw its stars as part of a great celestial canoe. It's as if Orion's story transcends geography, a shared human fascination with this brilliant constellation. But here's the twist: Orion isn't alone in the sky. Just beyond him lies another cosmic neighbor, one whose myth is equally rich and whose stars hold secrets of their own. Shifting our gaze from Orion's mighty silhouette, we find another celestial wonder that has captivated humanity for ages. The Pleiades, a glittering cluster of stars often called the Seven Sisters. To the naked eye, they appear as a tiny dipper or a handful of diamonds scattered across the velvet of space, but their cultural significance is anything but small. In Greek mythology, these stars were seven sisters, daughters of the Titan Atlas, forever fleeing the relentless pursuit of Orion. Their story is one of tragedy and escape, immortalized in the night sky. But step beyond Greece, and you'll discover this cluster holds entirely different meanings. The indigenous Australians saw the Pleiades as a group of women dancing in the heavens, their movements tied to sacred dreamtime stories that explain the creation of land and law. What's remarkable is how these stars served as more than just myth. They were ancient humanity's calendar and compass. Farmers from Japan to the Americas planted crops when the Pleiades rose at dawn, their appearance signaling the start of the growing season. The Maori used their heliacal rising to mark the new year, while the Aztecs called them Chanquistli, the marketplace, linking their position to seasonal rains crucial for harvest. It's as if these stars were a universal language, whispering the rhythms of Earth to cultures separated by oceans and centuries. Now, modern astronomy adds another chapter to their story. The Pleiades aren't just a pretty cluster, they're a dynamic stellar nursery, young and blazing hot, surrounded by wisps of glowing gas. Recent discoveries have revealed exoplanets orbiting these stars, worlds that may one day answer whether life could arise in such a radiant environment. Imagine, the same stars that guided ancient farmers now guide scientists in the search for distant Earths. And just as the Pleiades bridge myth and science, they also point us toward another celestial wonder, one that ancient cultures saw not as sisters, but as a chariot racing across the heavens. High above the northern sky, one constellation has been a steadfast guide across cultures and centuries: Ursa Major, the Great Bear. Its seven brightest stars form the unmistakable Big Dipper, but the stories behind these stars stretch far beyond a simple kitchen utensil. To the ancient Greeks, this celestial bear was once Callisto, a nymph transformed into a beast by the jealous goddess Hera, then placed among the stars by Zeus to protect her. Yet halfway around the world, the Iroquois and other Native American nations saw these same stars as three hunters pursuing a bear through the heavens, its blood-staining autumn leaves when the constellation dipped low in the fall. What's fascinating is how Ursa Major served as more than just mythology. It was humanity's first GPS. The two-pointer stars at the edge of the Dipper's bowl have guided travelers for millennia, pointing unerringly to Polaris, the North Star. Viking navigators called it Thor's wagon, using it to cross treacherous seas, while enslaved people fleeing the American South followed the drinking gourd as coded directions toward freedom. Even today, pilots and backpackers still rely on these stars when technology fails, a testament to their enduring practicality. Modern astronomy reveals another layer to Ursa Major's legacy. That familiar dipper shape, it's just the bear's tail and hindquarters, a small part of a sprawling constellation that contains galaxies like the pinwheel, visible with amateur telescopes. Scientists now study these stars to understand stellar evolution, with the system Mizar and Alka once serving as the ancient world's eye test. But perhaps the most extraordinary thread is how cultures separated by continents and oceans all envisioned a bear in these stars. From Siberian shamans to Celtic druids, the cosmic bear seems etched into humanity's collective imagination, a shared story written in the language of starlight. And speaking of celestial animals, Ursa Major isn't alone in the sky's menagerie. Just beyond its pores lies another creature of legend, one whose stars pulse with tales of sacrifice and rebirth. Among the most dramatic rivalries written in the stars is the eternal chase between Scorpius and Orion, two constellations destined never to share the night sky. Ancient stargazers noticed something peculiar when the Scorpion rises in the east. The mighty hunter vanishes below the western horizon, as if fleeing his celestial nemesis. The Greeks wove this astronomical dance into a gripping tale of hubris and revenge. Orion, boasting he could slay every beast on earth, provoked the goddess Artemis, who sent a lethal scorpion to stop him. Their battle was so fierce that Zeus placed them at opposite ends of the heavens, forever locked in this cosmic game of cat and mouse. But this story stretches back even further, thousands of years before the Greeks. Mesopotamian astronomers saw these same stars as a showdown between their hero Gilgamesh and the monstrous scorpion man guarding the mountains of sunrise. What's astonishing is how both cultures, separated by time and geography, recognized the same celestial pattern. Scorpius's arrival in summer skies coincides with Orion's disappearance, a seasonal shift that ancient myths poetically framed as an endless retreat. Modern astronomy confirms this celestial choreography. Earth's orbit creates the illusion that these constellations avoid one another, as if the universe itself honored their legendary feud. The brilliance of these myths lies in their dual purpose. They weren't just thrilling stories but practical sky maps. Farmers knew when Scorpius dominated the heavens, it was time to prepare for summer heat, while Orion's return signaled winter's approach. This interplay between myth and reality reaches its peak with another celestial figure, one who watches this rivalry from her starry throne. High above the Scorpion and the Hunter sits Queen Cassiopeia, her distinctive W-shaped constellation, a silent witness to this timeless drama. Cassiopeia's constellation forms a brilliant W in the northern sky, but her story is anything but a simple shape. It's a cautionary tale of vanity with a cosmic twist. In Greek mythology, she was the queen of Ethiopia who boasted that her daughter Andromeda's beauty outshone the sea nymphs, the Nereids. This hubris angered Poseidon, who sent a sea monster to ravage her kingdom as punishment. The gods eventually intervened, placing Cassiopeia among the stars, but with a cruel twist. Her throne was positioned so that for half the year she appears upside down, a humbling reminder of her arrogance for all eternity. Yet halfway across the world, Polynesian navigators saw these same stars not as a punished queen, but as a celestial compass. To them, the W shape of Cassiopeia served as a guiding hand, its position relative to the North Star helping voyagers pinpoint their latitude as they crossed vast stretches of open ocean. The Hawaiian name for this constellation, Kalupe o Kolo, references a legendary kite symbolizing how these stars seem to soar across the heavens. It's remarkable how one pattern could embody both a moral lesson and a lifeline for survival, depending on who gazed upward. Modern stargazers still rely on Cassiopeia as a celestial landmark. Her bright stars form a bridge between the Big Dipper and Polaris, creating a navigational triangle that's helped everyone from ancient sailors to lost hikers. But there's another layer to her story hidden in plain sight. Peer closely at the middle star of her W, and you'll find a subtle flicker, Gamma Cassiopeiae, a volatile star that unpredictably brightens and dims, as if echoing the Queen's dramatic fall from grace. Astronomers now study this star to understand how massive stars shed material into space, a process that might one day seed new planets. And just as Cassiopeia's tail intertwines with Andromeda's, her constellation points the way to another epic written in the stars, the Legend of Perseus, the hero who dared to slay a monster and rescue a princess. his story forever immortalized in the shimmering band of the Milky Way. The tale of Perseus rescuing Andromeda from the sea monster Cetus is one of the most dramatic myths written. Stars, a story where constellations become characters in an eternal celestial play. Look up on an autumn evening and you'll see them frozen in time. Andromeda chained to her rocky fate, her outstretched arms forming a line of stars leading directly to her savior, Perseus, who stands triumphant with the severed head of Medusa in hand. Below them, the monstrous Cetus lurks near the horizon, its stars faint but unmistakable, as if the creature still waits for another chance to strike. The Greeks told of how Queen Cassiopeia's Vanity doomed her daughter, forcing King Cepheus to sacrifice Andromeda to appease the sea god's wrath, until Perseus, fresh from slaying Medusa, turned the beast to stone with just a glance at the Gorgon's head. Yet this myth isn't confined to one culture. The ancient Egyptians saw these same stars as part of the celestial boat carrying Osiris through the underworld, while Arab astronomers charted them as a sea monster and a chained maiden long before Greek influence. What's extraordinary is how these constellations physically mirror the myth. Andromeda's stars literally lead to Perseus in the sky, their positions locking the rescue into the heavens forever. Modern stargazers can trace the entire drama just by connecting the dots, from Cepheus and Cassiopeia's royal court to the shimmering ribbon of the Milky Way that seems to bind the story together. But here's where the ancient tale collides with modern wonder. Nestled within Andromeda's constellation lies a faint smudge, the Andromeda Galaxy, the farthest object visible to the naked eye. At 2.5 million light-years away, this spiral of stars was once thought to be a mere nebula within our own galaxy until telescopes revealed its true nature. Now we know it's our Milky Way's colossal neighbor on a collision course with us in 4 billion years. It's poetic that the chained maiden's constellation holds this cosmic marvel, as if the ancients, without knowing, pointed us toward our galactic future. And just as Perseus once battled a monster, another celestial beast coils through the stars nearby the constellation Draco, the dragon, its sinuous body winding between the Big and Little Dippers. Its stars guard the northern pole, whispering an even older story of chaos and guardianship. Coiling through the northern sky like a celestial serpent, the constellation Draco has guarded cosmic secrets for millennia. Unlike the dramatic figures of Greek myth, this dragon's story begins far earlier with the Babylonians, who saw its sinuous shape as Tiamat, the primordial chaos dragon slain by the god Marduk to create order from the void. To them, Draco wasn't just a star pattern, it was a remnant of the universe's violent birth, its stars marking the boundary between order and chaos. The Norse carried this idea forward, envisioning the dragon Nidhogg gnawing at the roots of Yggdrasil, the world tree, its tail thrashing through the stars we now call Draco. Both cultures shared a striking belief. This dragon wasn't merely a monster, it was a guardian of celestial knowledge, its body coiled protectively around the north celestial pole like a scaled sentinel. What makes Draco extraordinary isn't just its mythology, but its astronomy. Trace its winding body today, and you're following a path that once marked true north. Due to Earth's wobble, a slow dance called axial precession, the north celestial pole shifts over time. 4,000 years ago, the star Thuban in Draco's tail was Earth's North Star, guiding Egyptian pyramid builders who aligned monuments to its light. Over millennia, the pole drifted toward Polaris, leaving Draco's stars to chart this cosmic migration like breadcrumbs across the ages. Modern astronomers recognize this as the 26,000-year precession cycle, but ancient stargazers encoded the same truth in myth, a dragon forever circling the axis of the sky, its movement mirroring the slow turn of cosmic time. This interplay between myth and science reaches its peak with Draco's celestial neighbors. Just beyond its tail lies Ursa Minor, the little bear, whose pole star now holds the dragon at bay, a symbolic victory of order over chaos echoed in countless cultures. Yet hidden in Draco's grasp is another marvel, the Cat's Eye Nebula, a dying star's glowing halo that resembles a dragon clutching a jewel. It's as if the ancients foresaw these discoveries, their stories hinting at truths we're still unraveling. And speaking of cosmic patterns, Draco's winding form points toward another celestial duo, twins whose stars hold tales of brotherhood, rivalry, and the delicate balance between light and darkness. Gemini's twin stars, Castor and Pollux, blaze side by side in the night sky, a celestial pair whose stories span continents and cultures with remarkable consistency. The Greeks saw them as the legendary twins of Leda, one mortal and one divine, bound so tightly in brotherhood that when Castor fell in battle, Pollux begged Zeus to share his immortality. Their compromise, spending half their time in the underworld and half among the stars, forever inseparable. But this tale of loyalty echoes far beyond Greece. The Maori of New Zealand knew these same stars as Tamarati's canoe, carrying the twin ancestors of humanity across the Milky Way. In Hindu tradition, they're the Ashvins, divine horsemen who bring dawn's first light, while Navajo cosmology describes them as hero twins who slayed cosmic monsters to bring order to the world. What unites these myths is how often Gemini stars symbolize duality, life and death, mortal and immortal, chaos and order. Ancient astronomers recognized this balance in the stars themselves. The solstice sun once aligned directly between Castor and Pollux, marking the year's longest day in the northern hemisphere. Babylonians used this alignment to predict floods, while Mayan priests timed ceremonies by the twins' position overhead. Even today, sailors nickname them the heavenly guides, their steady light historically helping navigators gauge latitude when Polaris was obscured. Yet Gemini's legacy extends beyond mythology into the age of space exploration. NASA Project Gemini, named for this constellation, carried pairs of astronauts in the 1960s, perfecting docking maneuvers and spacewalks critical for the moon landings. It's poetic that a mission built on teamwork bore the name of celestial twins, echoing humanity's ancient instinct to see collaboration written in the stars. Modern stargazers can still spot the Geminid meteor shower each December, debris from an asteroid called Phaethon, which mythology links to the sun god's reckless son. These shooting stars seem to radiate from Castor and Pollux, as if the twins are scattering cosmic gifts across the night. But Gemini isn't the only archer in the sky's grand narrative. Just beyond the twins, another constellation draws its bow, Sagittarius, whose stars hold tales of centaurs, wisdom, and a galactic bull's eye waiting to be struck. Sagittarius, the celestial archer, draws its bow toward the heart of the Milky Way, a centaur poised in eternal conflict with the scorpion's sting. To the ancient Greeks, this constellation represented Chiron, the wise and immortal centaur who mentored heroes like Hercules before being struck down by a poisoned arrow. His placement in the stars wasn't just a tribute, it was a cosmic lesson in sacrifice and transcendence, his arrow aimed at Scorpius as if to pierce the chaos it embodied. But the Babylonians saw something entirely different in these same stars. Pabil-Sag, a divine creature part lion, part scorpion, guarding the gates to the underworld. Both cultures, though separated by centuries, recognized this patch of sky as a battleground between higher wisdom and primal forces, a theme echoed in the stars themselves. What makes Sagittarius truly extraordinary lies not just in its myths, but in its scientific reality. That arrow points toward the exact center of our galaxy, where 27,000 light-years away, a supermassive black hole named Sagittarius, a star, devours cosmic matter in silence. Modern telescopes reveal this region as a maelstrom of swirling gas and newborn stars, a dynamic heart that ancient stargazers could never have imagined, yet somehow their stories aligned with the truth. The Maya, who called this constellation the deer, linked it to their god of the underworld, while Hindu astronomers saw it as a sacred horse's head. It's as if every culture glimpsed fragments of the same cosmic secret, that this direction in space holds immense, invisible power. But Sagittarius shares the stage with another wonder. Just beyond its arrow lies a small but dazzling constellation, Lyra the Lyre. Its brightest star, Vega, was the northern pole star 14,000 years ago and will be again in another 12,000, a slow celestial rhythm our ancestors encoded in myth. The Greeks tied Lyra to Orpheus, whose music could charm beasts and bend the will of gods, a metaphor for the harmony hidden in the cosmos. Yet the Chinese saw these same stars as a weaving maiden separated from her cowherd lover by the Milky Way, a story celebrated during the Kixi festival, where magpies form a bridge across the heavens. This interplay between myth and astronomy reaches its peak when you realize Lyra's Vega was the first star ever photographed in 1850 and later became a key to measuring interstellar distances. Its brilliance cuts through light pollution, guiding modern stargazers just as it guided ancient storytellers. And like Orpheus's lyre, it beckons us toward another celestial melody, one written in the delicate strings of a constellation whose stars pulse with the music of the spheres. Lyra's delicate strings shimmer in the summer sky, a celestial harp forever tied to one of mythology's most haunting tales, the story of Orpheus, whose music could tame wild beasts and even melt the hearts of the underworld's rulers. According to Greek legend, after Orpheus failed to rescue his beloved Eurydice from Hades, turning too soon to see if she followed him back to the world of the living, his grief-stricken lyre was cast into the heavens by Zeus himself. Yet this constellation isn't just a monument to lost love. It's a bridge between ancient wonder and modern discovery. At its heart gleams Vega, a star so luminous that it once served as Earth's North Star 12,000 years ago and will reclaim that role again in another 12 millennia, a slow celestial rhythm our ancestors intuited long before telescopes revealed the mechanics of axial precession. Vega's brilliance has made it a beacon across cultures. The ancient Chinese saw it as the weaving maiden Xinu, separated from her cowherd lover by the Milky Way in a story celebrated during the Kixi festival. Polynesian navigators used its position to chart courses across the Pacific, while medieval Arab astronomers called it the falling eagle, noting its role in their star calendars. But Vega's legacy took a revolutionary turn in the 20th century when it became a prime target for humanity's first deliberate attempts to contact extraterrestrial life. In 1974, the Arecibo radio telescope beamed a coded message toward this star, a cosmic hello carrying schematics of DNA, our solar system, and even a stick figure of a human. Decades later, the SETI Institute continues to monitor Vega for any reply, transforming an ancient symbol of separation into a modern emblem of interstellar hope. What's astonishing is how science has deepened Lyra's mythology. The Kepler Space Telescope discovered exoplanets orbiting stars within this constellation, including one world dubbed Kepler 62f, a potential super-Earth in the habitable zone. Meanwhile, Vega itself is now known to be surrounded by a vast debris disk, a swirling ring of dust and ice that could be the birthplace of future planets. It's as if Orpheus's lyre isn't just playing for the gods anymore, but for civilizations we've yet to meet. Yet Lyra's stars whisper of another ancient story, one not of music but of water. Just beyond Vega lies a constellation whose mythos spans cultures, from Babylonian tablets to indigenous flood legends, all telling of a deluge so vast it reshaped the world. Aquarius, the water-bearer, tilts his celestial urn across the winter sky, but this constellation's legacy isn't just about stars. It's about floods that reshaped the world, or at least humanity's memory of it. From the biblical Noah to the Greek Deucalion, cultures worldwide share eerily similar stories of cataclysmic deluges, and many link these tales directly to Aquarius' annual appearance. When his stars rise in the east, they herald the rainy season across the Mediterranean and Middle East, as if the heavens themselves are opening their floodgates. The Babylonians called this constellation Beulah, the Great One who pours out the waters of life and destruction, while the ancient Egyptians saw it as Hapi, god of the Nile's life-giving inundation. Even today, monsoon traditions from India to Mesoamerica align with Aquarius' position, proof that our ancestors didn't just tell stories about the stars, they lived by them. Modern science adds a fascinating twist to these ancient water myths. Aquarius isn't just a celestial metaphor, it's a galactic crossroads. Nestled within its boundaries lies TRAPPIST-1, a dwarf star system with 7 Earth-sized exoplanets, 3 of which orbit in the habitable zone. Astrobiologists study these worlds for signs of water, the very element Aquarius has symbolized for millennia. It's as if the universe is echoing the old myths: where there's water, there's potential for life. The same constellation that inspired flood legends now guides our search for oceans beyond our solar system, bridging ancient wisdom with cutting-edge discovery. Yet Aquarius holds another, darker story, one of cosmic justice. In Greek myth, the water-bearer represents Ganymede, a mortal youth abducted by Zeus to serve as the god's cupbearer. His placement in the stars wasn't just an honor, it was a celestial courtroom where the god's actions were put on eternal display. The Persians saw this differently. Their Aquarius was dull, the righteous judge who measured out water fairly during droughts. These contrasting interpretations reveal a deeper truth. Aquarius doesn't just bring water. He symbolizes the balance between mercy and consequence, between chaos and order. That balance plays out dramatically in Aquarius' neighboring constellation Pisces, where 2 fish swim in opposite directions, tied together by a cord of stars. Their myth tells of Aphrodite and Eros escaping a monster by transforming into fish, bound together for survival. But look closer, and you'll notice the cord doesn't just connect the fish. It points toward Aquarius' flowing water, as if the entire sky is a courtroom where every action has an equal and celestial reaction. Libra's constellation gleams as the only inanimate object in the zodiac, a set of celestial scales suspended in the cosmic balance. But this wasn't always the case. Long before the Greeks envisioned justice in these stars, ancient stargazers saw them as part of Scorpius' claws, a remnant still echoed in the names of Libra's brightest stars, Zuben-el-Janubi and Zuben-e-Shamali, Arabic for Southern Claw and Northern Claw. It wasn't until Roman times that Libra emerged as a separate symbol, its scales representing the autumnal equinox, when day and night hang in perfect equilibrium. The Romans, obsessed with law and order, saw divine justice in this alignment, a cosmic courtroom where even the gods weighed their deeds. Dive deeper into history, and you'll find Libra's scales tipping through multiple civilizations. The Mesopotamians linked these stars to the judgment of the dead, where souls were weighed against a feather of truth. Egyptian mythology placed them in the hands of Thoth, the scribe god who recorded the outcomes of mortal lives. Even the Chinese saw this region as Tine Cheng, the celestial balance, its stars governing fairness in earthly affairs. What's striking is how these cultures, separated by continents, all projected humanity's yearning for justice onto the same patch of sky, as if the universe itself demanded cosmic accountability. Modern astronomy adds a thrilling twist to Libra's legacy. Nestled within its boundaries lies a galaxy cluster so massive that its gravity bends light, a phenomenon called gravitational lensing. Scientists study this distortion to map dark matter, the invisible scaffolding of the universe. It's poetic. The same constellation symbolizing balance helps us measure the unseen forces holding reality together. Even Libra's stars hold surprises. Zubaneshimali glows with a peculiar greenish hue, a rarity in the night sky that still puzzles astronomers. But Libra's scales aren't the only celestial instrument measuring cosmic forces. Just beyond them charges another constellation, Taurus, the bull, whose fiery eye and golden horns have ignited myths from the walls of Lascaux to the tablets of Babylon. Its story begins not with balance, but with a storm of celestial violence. Taurus charges through the winter sky with a celestial presence that's impossible to ignore. Its fiery red eye, the star Aldebaran, glaring like an enraged bull poised to strike. This constellation's mythic roots run deeper than almost any other, intertwining with humanity's earliest fears and fascinations. To the Sumerians, Taurus was the bull of heaven, a divine beast sent by the gods to punish the hero Gilgamesh for his arrogance. Its stars formed the backbone of their agricultural calendar, with the bull's return heralding the spring planting season. The Greeks, meanwhile, saw Taurus as Zeus in disguise, carrying Europa across the sea, a story of power and transformation etched into the stars. Yet perhaps the most haunting tale lies in Crete, where the Minotaur, a monstrous half-bull, half-man, lurked in a labyrinth, its origins tied to the same celestial symbolism. What's extraordinary is how these myths converge around two glittering star clusters nestled within Taurus, the Hyades and the Pleiades. The Hyades, shaped like a V, form the bull's face, their name meaning the rainy ones in Greek, as their rising signaled the start of the wet season. Ancient farmers from Mesopotamia to Mesoamerica relied on this celestial cue, their survival literally written in the stars. The Pleiades, often called the Seven Sisters, sit on Taurus' shoulder like a cluster of jewels. These stars were so vital to timekeeping that the Maori used them to mark the new year, while the Aztecs built temples aligned to their rising. It's as if Taurus wasn't just a constellation but a cosmic almanac, its stars dictating the rhythms of planting, harvest, and even sacred rituals. Modern astronomy unveils another layer to Taurus' legacy. Gaze at the bull's horn, and you'll find the Crab Nebula, a swirling remnant of a supernova so bright that medieval astronomers recorded its explosion in 1054. Chinese stargazers called it a guest star, while Anasazi artists may have depicted it in petroglyphs. Today, we know it as the aftermath of a dying sun, its filaments still expanding at nearly 1,000 miles per second, a testament to the universe's explosive creativity. But Taurus hides even older secrets, the Taurus molecular cloud, a stellar nursery where new stars are born, echoes the bull's ancient role as a symbol of fertility and renewal. And just beyond the bull's sweeping horns lies another celestial story, one not of brute force but of grace. A maiden kneels in the stars, her constellation forever intertwined with Taurus, her myth a delicate counterpoint to the bull's thunderous power. Virgo stretches across the night sky not as a warrior or beast, but as a figure of quiet power, the harvest goddess whose stars have guided civilizations through seasons of planting and reaping. To the ancient Greeks, she was Demeter, cradling a sheaf of wheat in her arms, her grief over losing her daughter Persephone to the underworld, mirroring the Earth's annual cycle of death and rebirth. The Egyptians saw these same stars as Isis, the divine mother whose tears flooded the Nile, bringing fertility to barren land. Even the Babylonians recognized her as Shola, goddess of grain, her outstretched hand scattering seeds across the heavens. What's remarkable is how these cultures, separated by continents, all envisioned a celestial woman nurturing the earth, a testament to humanity's shared dependence on the rhythms of nature, written in the stars. Virgo's connection to the harvest isn't just symbolic, it's etched into the cosmos itself. Her brightest star, Spica, shines with a blue-white brilliance whose name literally means ear of wheat in Latin. When Spica rises just before dawn in late summer, it signals the start of harvest time, a celestial alarm clock farmers from ancient Rome to medieval China relied on. But the true marvel lies in Virgo's alignment with the autumnal equinox, where the sun once crossed directly through her constellation 2,000 years ago. This cosmic event marked the moment day and night stood in perfect balance, a time of thanksgiving and preparation for winter's darkness. Modern stargazers can still trace this legacy in autumn festivals worldwide, from the Greek Thesmophoria to China's mid-autumn moon celebrations, all echoing Virgo's ancient role as timekeeper of the Earth's bounty. Yet Virgo's significance stretches far beyond our solar system. Nestled within her borders lies one of the universe's most awe-inspiring structures, the Virgo supercluster, a sprawling web of galaxies spanning over 100 million light-years. Our own Milky Way is just a speck on its outskirts, drawn inexorably toward the supercluster's heart by gravity's pull. Scientists call this colossal nexus Laniakea, Hawaiian for immeasurable heaven, a fitting name for a region that contains over 100,000 galaxies. It's humbling to think that the same constellation ancient cultures associated with nurturing life on Earth actually points toward our place in a cosmic network almost beyond comprehension. But Virgo's stars whisper of something even more primal, a connection to the celestial waters that birthed all life. Just beyond her flowing robes lies a constellation that embodies the chaos of the deep, a monstrous shape feared by sailors and stargazers alike. Cetus sprawls across the southern sky like a riddle wrapped in starlight. Is this constellation a gentle giant of the deep or a primordial beast of chaos? The answer depends on who you ask. To ancient Polynesian navigators, these stars traced the outline of a benevolent whale, guiding voyagers across the Pacific with their steady presence. Yet turn to Babylonian star charts, and Cetus transforms into Tiamat, the dragon of chaos slain by the god Marduk to create the ordered universe. This cosmic duality stretches into Hebrew tradition, where Cetus mirrors the biblical Leviathan, a sea monster so powerful only divine intervention could restrain it. The Greeks split the difference, depicting Cetus as the monstrous sent by Poseidon to devour Andromeda before Perseus turned it to stone with Medusa's head. It's as if this constellation embodies humanity's ancient awe and terror of the unknown depths, whether oceanic or cosmic. What's fascinating is how astronomy reinforces this dual identity. Nestled within Cetus boundaries lies Mira, the wonderful, a pulsing variable star that fades and brightens over an 11-month cycle like a celestial heartbeat. Early astronomers watched Mira vanish and reappear, interpreting its rhythm as the monster's slumber and awakening. Modern science reveals the truth. Mira is a dying red giant, its outer layers expanding and contracting as it sheds material into space, a stellar metamorphosis that might one day seed new planets. This cosmic dance between destruction and creation eerily echoes the myths of Tiamat and Leviathan, whose deaths birthed new worlds in ancient stories. But Cetus shares the celestial stage with another wonder. Just beyond its tail stretches Grus, the celestial crane. While Cetus embodies the mysteries of the deep, Grus soars as a symbol of vigilance and renewal in cultures from Egypt to Japan. The Aboriginal Australians saw these stars as a sky-bound emu, its appearance signaling the season for gathering eggs. It's a poetic counterpoint, where one constellation dives into the abyss, another takes flight, together mapping humanity's endless fascination with creatures that bridge earth and sky. Cygnus glides through the Milky Way like a celestial swan in eternal flight, its wings outstretched along the river of stars. This constellation carries one of mythology's most intriguing tales, Zeus transforming into a swan to seduce Leda, queen of Sparta. From their union, legend says, came Helen of Troy and the twins Castor and Pollux, forever linking Cygnus to the epic dramas of gods and mortals. But the swan's story soars beyond Greek lore. The Lakota people saw these stars as a great bird carrying souls to the afterlife, while the Tlingit of the Pacific Northwest envisioned a raven whose flight scattered light across the primordial darkness. It's as if cultures separated by oceans all recognized something transcendent in this starry shape, a bridge between earth and heavens. What makes Cygnus truly mesmerizing is its place in our galaxy. The swan doesn't just fly through the Milky Way, it nests in one of its richest star-forming regions. Within its wings lies the North American Nebula, a vast cloud of gas and dust sculpted by newborn stars, its shape uncannily mirroring the continent it's named after. Nearby, the Veil Nebula shimmers like tattered, lace the remnants of a supernova explosion so violent that its light reached Earth over 5,000 years ago. These cosmic landmarks turn Cygnus into a celestial workshop where stars are born and die in spectacular fashion, a process our ancestors intuited long before telescopes revealed the details. Modern astronomy has deepened Cygnus' legacy. NASA Kepler telescopes spent years staring at this constellation, discovering thousands of exoplanets orbiting stars within the swan's domain. Among them is Kepler 186f, the first Earth-sized world found in a habitable zone, a tantalizing hint that life might thrive under Cygnus' watch. The constellation also holds Cygnus X1, a black hole locked in a gravitational dance with a supergiant star, proving Einstein's theories on cosmic extremes. It's poetic that the same stars once associated with mythical transformation now reveal the universe's most dramatic metamorphoses, gas collapsing into stars, stars collapsing into black holes, and planets forming in the debris. Yet Cygnus points the way to another celestial traveler, one not of wings, but of wheels. Just beyond the swan's tail gleams the constellation Auriga, the charioteer, whose golden star Capella has guided everyone from Babylonian astrologers to Antarctic explorers. His story begins not with a bird's grace, but with the thunder of hooves and the daring of mortals who raced toward the heavens. Auriga the charioteer stands eternal in the northern sky, his golden star Capella gleaming like a celestial beacon, a light that has guided travelers since the dawn of civilization. But this constellation isn't just about navigation. It carries a myth as intricate as the wheels of the first chariot. Greek legends tell of Erychthonius, the orphan king raised by Athena, whose twisted legs didn't stop him from inventing the four-horse chariot. His reward, a place among the stars, forever holding the reins of progress. Yet Auriga's story takes a darker turn in other traditions. The Babylonians saw these stars as the shepherd of the heavenly flock, while the Maori envisioned them as a fishhook that pulled the islands from the sea. Each culture projected its own dreams onto this celestial driver, but they all recognized one truth. Auriga's stars were a gift of motion, a symbol of humanity's restless journey forward. Capella, the constellation's brightest jewel, has been a cosmic waypoint for millennia. Its name means little she-goat in Latin, referencing the mythical goat Amalthea who nursed the infant Zeus. Ancient Arabs called it al-Rakib, the driver, timing their desert crossings by its steady light. Polynesian navigators used Capella to chart courses across the Pacific, while medieval monks marked the turning of seasons by its position. Modern astronomy reveals why this star captivated so many. It's not one star, but four. Two binary pairs orbit each other in a gravitational dance, their light blending into a single golden point visible even through city haze. Scientists study Capella to understand how stars evolve in tandem, a cosmic laboratory for stellar partnerships that might last billions of years. Yet Auriga hides another marvel, a cosmic serpent coiled within its borders. The flaming star nebula ripples with ionized hydrogen, its crimson tendrils resembling a dragon's tail. This stellar nursery, where new stars ignite in clouds of gas, mirrors the Greek myth of Erychthonius, who was, according to some versions, half-serpent himself. It's as if the constellation encodes its own origin story in celestial fire. Nearby, the kite asterism, a diamond-shaped pattern of stars, hangs like a chariot suspended in the heavens, its lines so precise they seem drawn by divine hands. But Auriga's greatest gift might be how it bridges myth and science. The same stars that guided ancient shepherds now help astronomers map dark matter, their light bending through invisible cosmic scaffolding. The charioteer's journey never truly ends, it simply shifts form, from wooden wheels to telescopes, from legend to discovery. And just beyond his outstretched arm lies another celestial wonder, one whose stars pulse with the rhythm of creation itself. Slithering through the summer sky, Serpens holds a distinction no other constellation can claim. It's the only star pattern physically split in two, divided by the figure of Ophiuchus, the serpent-bearer. Serpens caput, the serpent's head, curls near Hercules' foot, while Serpens cauda, its tail, flickers on the opposite side of Ophiuchus like a cosmic puzzle waiting to be solved. This celestial fragmentation mirrors ancient duality myths. The Babylonians saw these stars as Ningishzida, a serpent god symbolizing both healing and chaos, while Greek legends entwined them with Asclepius, the healer whose serpent staff birthed the medical caduceus. Even the stars seem to whisper this paradox. Serpens' head glows with the orange hue of Alpha Serpentis, a dying giant, while its tail cradles the Eagle Nebula's pillars of creation, where new stars ignite in towers of interstellar dust. Those pillars, immortalized by Hubble's lens, reveal the serpent's true nature, a cycle of destruction and rebirth spanning light years. The same nebula where stars are sculpted from gas also hosts the stellar spire, a 3-trillion-mile column being eroded by newborn suns. It's as if Serpens embodies the Ouroboros, the ancient symbol of a serpent eating its own tail, representing eternity. Modern astronomers have found protoplanetary disks here, infant solar systems forming in the nebula's shadow, a revelation that would have stunned the Babylonians who first charted these stars on clay tablets. Yet Serpens' divided form hints at a deeper celestial story. Ophiuchus, the figure gripping the serpent, was once associated with Aesculapius in Roman myths, a healer so skilled he threatened the natural order, prompting Zeus to strike him down before placing him among the stars. The serpent's bisection might symbolize this tension between knowledge and hubris, between the power to cure and the peril of overreach. And just beyond the serpent's coiled tail, another constellation glimmers with royal intrigue, Corona Borealis, the northern crown, whose semicircle of stars holds tales of betrayal, lost love, and a jewel that might still shine in the cosmic deep. Corona Borealis arcs across the northern sky like a celestial tiara, its 7 bright stars forming a near-perfect semicircle that cultures worldwide recognized as a crown, but whose crown depends on who tells the story. Greek myths paint it as Ariadne's wedding gift from Dionysus, the god of wine, who placed it among the stars to honor their love after she was abandoned by Theseus on the shores of Naxos. The jewels in this cosmic diadem were said to glow so brightly they illuminated the underworld when Dionysus descended to rescue his mother. Yet halfway across the world, the Wardaman people of Australia's Northern Territory saw these same stars as a returning boomerang thrown by the creator being Namagan, its curve mirroring the path of ancestral law across the heavens. What's astonishing is how both traditions, one speaking of love, the other of creation, saw luminous motion in this compact constellation, as if the stars themselves were caught mid-flight between myth and reality. Modern stargazers know Corona Borealis as more than just a pretty asterism. It's a celestial signpost pointing toward cosmic wonders. Nestled within its curve lies the variable star Corona Borealis, a celestial oddity that unpredictably dims by a factor of thousands when soot-like carbon clouds form in its atmosphere. Nearby, the galaxy cluster Abell 2665 warps spacetime so dramatically that astronomers use it as a natural telescope to study even more distant galaxies. It's poetic that Ariadne's crown, a symbol of divine favor in myths, actually helps us peer deeper into the universe's secrets, just as the Wardaman's boomerang stars guided their seasonal ceremonies with uncanny precision. Yet Corona Borealis shares the stage with celestial hunters. Trace a line from its brightest star, Alpheca, downward through the summer sky, and you'll encounter two constellations whose stars blaze with tales of pursuit. Canis Venatici, the hunting dogs, forever straining at their leash in pursuit of the great bear. Their mythology is younger than most, first mapped in the 17th century, but their stars echo far older traditions. The Chukchi people of Siberia saw this patch of sky as two reindeer tethered to the pole star, while medieval Arab astronomers charted them as part of a larger lion constellation. What binds these interpretations is the universal theme of loyalty. Whether dogs, reindeer, or celestial guides, these stars have always represented companions on life's perilous journeys. And just beyond the dog's eager reach gleams a star cluster known as the Coma Berenices, a celestial lock of hair with its own royal sacrifice story, where love and astronomy intertwine under the watchful eyes of the cosmic hunt. Tucked between the sweeping arc of the Big Dipper and the kite-shaped figure of Boötes, Canis Venatici, the hunting dogs, may not blaze as brightly as other constellations, but their story weaves through the heavens with quiet persistence. These two celestial hounds, Asterion and Chara, have been part of sky lore since ancient times, forever straining at their leashes as Boötes, the herdsman, sets them upon the great bear. Greek myth paints them as loyal companions helping their master drive Ursa Major in an endless circle around the pole. But medieval Arab astronomers saw a different tale in these stars, a pair of greyhounds leaping toward the stag constellation, their energy captured in the Arabic name for Chara, the joyful one. What makes Canis Venatici extraordinary isn't just its mythology, but the cosmic treasure hidden within its borders. Nestled near Chara's paw lies the Whirlpool Galaxy, a spiral so perfect and face-on that it became the first galaxy ever classified as a grand design spiral. Through even a modest telescope, its swirling arms and companion galaxy locked in a gravitational dance are visible, a snapshot of cosmic evolution that inspired Charles Messier to catalogue it in 1773. Amateur astronomers today still use this galaxy as a benchmark for testing their equipment, its distinctive shape making it one of the most photographed deep sky objects. The Whirlpool isn't just beautiful, it's a celestial laboratory, its arms studded with pink star-forming regions and dark dust lanes that reveal how galaxies grow and collide over eons. But Cain's Vanitas holds another secret one that bridges ancient myth and modern discovery. In 2005, astronomers detected an enigmatic object within this constellation, a hypervelocity star dubbed the Cosmic Ship, racing through space at nearly 1.5 million miles per hour. This stellar runaway, flung from the Milky Way's core by a supermassive black hole, traces a path that eerily mirrors the hunting dog's relentless pursuit. It's as if the universe itself honored the constellation's legacy of motion, turning myth into astrophysical reality. And just beyond the dog's celestial chase, another story unfolds, one not of pursuit but of sacrifice. The neighboring constellation Coma Berenices glimmers with a queen's severed hair, its stars scattered like jewels across the void. Argo Navis once sailed across the southern sky as the largest constellation ever charted, a sprawling celestial ship representing the vessel Jason and the Argonauts used to chase the Golden Fleece. Ancient Greek astronomers saw its stars as the very planks and sails of that mythical ship, so vast that it occupied nearly 4% of the entire night sky. But here's the twist: this cosmic galleon no longer exists. In the 18th century, French astronomer Nicolas Louis de Lacaille dismantled Argo Navis into 3 smaller constellations: Carina the keel, Puppies the stern, and Vela the sails, arguing that the original was simply too enormous for precise navigation. What was once a unified celestial marvel became scattered fragments, as if the stars themselves mirrored the Argo's fabled disintegration after its legendary voyage. Yet the legacy of this lost constellation lives on in unexpected ways. The Polynesians, master navigators of the Pacific, traced these same stars not as a ship but as a celestial compass. To them, the stars of Carina formed part of Te Punga, the anchor stone of the heavens, while Puppies guided voyagers like a celestial fishhook snagging the horizon. The Maori saw these stars as Te Waka o Tama Rareti, the canoe of a mythical hero who scattered glowing pebbles across the sky to create the Milky Way. It's astonishing how cultures separated by oceans envisioned the same patch of sky as vessels, whether Greek ships or Polynesian canoes, each carrying their own epic tales across the cosmic sea. Modern astronomy reveals why these stars captivated humanity for millennia. Nestled within Carina lies Eta Carinii, a hypergiant star system so volatile it makes supernova look tame. In 1843, Eta Carinii briefly became the second brightest star in the night sky during a cataclysmic eruption, ejecting enough material to form 10 suns. Today, it's a ticking time bomb, a binary system where one star is on the verge of detonating as a hypernova, an event so powerful it could outshine the Milky Way for weeks. Yet within this chaos lies creation. The surrounding Carina Nebula is a stellar nursery where newborn stars sculpt towers of gas into surreal shapes, proving that destruction and birth are 2 sides of the same cosmic coin. But Argo Navis's stars whisper of another celestial traveler, one not of wood and sails but of feathers and fire. Just beyond the ship's broken stern soars Aquila, the eagle, whose brightest star Altair forms one corner of the summer triangle. Its wings stretch across the Milky Way as if chasing the Argo's scattered remains, a reminder that even lost constellations never truly vanish. They simply transform, their stories waiting to be rediscovered in the patterns we trace today. Aquila soars across the Milky Way with wings outstretched, its brightest star Altair shining like a beacon in the cosmic dark, a celestial eagle carrying stories as old as civilization itself. To the ancient Greeks, this constellation was the mighty bird of Zeus, tasked with carrying thunderbolts for the king of gods and snatching the shepherd boy Ganymede to serve as cupbearer on Mount Olympus. Yet halfway around the world, the Lakota people saw these same stars as Wanbli Gaelshka, the spotted eagle whose feathers carried prayers to the Great Spirit, while the Pueblo tribes envisioned it as the thunderbird, a supernatural being whose wing beats created storms. These myths share an uncanny thread, whether as divine messenger or sky sovereign. Aquila has always symbolized the bridge between earth and heavens. Altair's brilliance makes it impossible to ignore, the 12th brightest star in the night sky and one corner of the summer triangle, that giant asterism that dominates the northern hemisphere's warm nights. What's extraordinary is how this star connects ancient navigation with modern astrophysics. Arab astronomers called it Al-Nasser Altair, the flying eagle, using its position to mark the changing seasons. Today, we know Altair spins so fast, completing a rotation every 9 hours, that it's flattened at the poles like a cosmic egg, a discovery made possible by interferometry that would have stunned those early skywatchers. Even more tantalizing, Altair's intense stellar winds create a surrounding disk of debris, the perfect environment for planet formation, a detail that transforms the eagle's nest into a potential cradle for alien worlds. But Aquila's stars whisper of something even more profound: their role in humanity's search for cosmic companions. In 1974, the Arecibo radio telescope beamed a message toward the Hercules star cluster, but its path swept directly through Aquila, as if the constellation itself carried our interstellar greeting. Decades later, the SETI Institute targeted Altair as a prime candidate for technosignature searches, its stability and age making it an ideal host for advanced life. It's poetic that the same stars once associated with divine messages now serve as celestial mailboxes for our own attempts at cosmic conversation. Nestled within Aquila's wings lies another marvel, the dark nebula B-143, nicknamed the Eagle's eerie glow. This cosmic cloud absorbs starlight like interstellar velvet, its silhouette resembling a raptor mid-dive. Yet peer deeper with infrared telescopes, and hidden stars emerge within the nebula's folds, their newborn light sculpting the gas into ethereal pillars. These stellar nurseries echo the Thunderbird legends where myth saw storm creation. Science reveals star creation, both born from celestial turbulence. And just beyond Aquila's talons dives another celestial creature, Delphinus, the dolphin, whose compact diamond shape hides a story of rescue and redemption. Its stars flicker like sunlight on waves, carrying tales of Greek sailors saved from drowning and Polynesian navigators who followed its rise to find land. Delphinus leaps through the summer sky like a dolphin frozen mid-arc, its compact diamond shape sparkling with a myth as old as seafaring itself. Greek legend tells of Arion, a musician thrown overboard by greedy sailors who coveted his riches. As he sang his own funeral hymn, a dolphin, enchanted by the melody, carried him safely to shore, earning its place among the stars as Delphinus. But this constellation's magic isn't confined to one culture. Across the Pacific, navigators from Tahiti to Hawaii revered dolphins as guides, their appearances signaling nearby land or safe passage through treacherous waters. The Maori saw these stars as Te Punga, the anchor stone of the heavens, while Marshall Islanders charted them in stick maps as celestial markers for ocean currents. It's as if humanity universally recognized these stars as guardians of travelers, whether on waves or in the cosmic deep. Modern astronomy reveals why Delphinus captivates both myth and science. Peering at this constellation through telescopes, astronomers have discovered multiple exoplanet systems orbiting its stars. One standout is HD 2100-277, a sun-like star hosting a hot Jupiter that completes an orbit every 4 days, a world so close to its star that its atmosphere is literally evaporating into space. Yet Delphinus also cradles the Golf Ball Nebula, a dying star's glowing envelope that resembles a celestial sphere mid-flight. These discoveries add layers to the ancient dolphin's tale, no longer just a rescuer of sailors, but a guide to alien worlds and stellar transformations. The constellation's shape itself tells a story. Its four main stars form a perfect diamond, the dolphin's body, while a fifth star marks its tail, as if caught mid-leap. Arab astronomers called this pattern Al-Qad, the rider's saddle, but medieval European stargazers saw it as Job's coffin, a sobering reminder of the biblical figure's trials. This duality, joy and sorrow, rescue and sacrifice, echoes in Delphinus' celestial neighbors. Just beyond its flickering tail swims Pisces, where two fish are forever bound by a silvery cord of stars, their myth intertwined with Delphinus' own tale of salvation. Pisces drifts through the celestial sea as two fish tied together by a silvery cord of stars, a constellation steeped in tales of escape and divine transformation. Greek mythology paints this starry duo as Aphrodite and Eros, who plunged into the Euphrates River as fish to flee the monster Typhon, their tails forever bound by a golden ribbon to prevent separation. But this story of aquatic refuge stretches back millennia before the Greeks. The Babylonians knew these stars as the fish god Ons, a half-man, half-fish deity who emerged daily from the Persian Gulf to teach humanity wisdom before returning to the depths at night. What's striking is how both cultures, one seeing escape, the other enlightenment, linked these stars to beings who moved between worlds, bridging the mundane and the divine through water's transformative power. Pisces holds another cosmic distinction. It's the constellation where the sun crosses the celestial equator during the vernal equinox, marking the moment day and night stand in perfect balance. For over 2,000 years, this first point of Aries, a misnomer from antiquity when the equinox actually lay in Aries, signaled rebirth across civilizations. The Babylonians celebrated it as the start of their new year, while early Christians tied it symbolically to resurrection. Modern stargazers can still trace this legacy in spring festivals worldwide, from Nowruz in Persia to Holi in India, all echoing Pisces' ancient role as a herald of renewal. Yet the constellation's true marvel lies in its celestial geometry, that silvery cord binding the fish. It's an asterism called the circlet of Pisces, a faint but distinct loop of stars resembling a cosmic knot. Within this loop swims the spiral galaxy Messier 74, dubbed the Phantom Galaxy for its ethereal glow, a ghostly counterpart to the mythic ribbon. Astronomers study M74 for its perfectly symmetrical arms, where supernovae detonate like underwater fireworks in the cosmic deep. It's poetic that a constellation tied to ancient flood myths now helps us map the universe's vast currents of dark matter, its gravitational pull shaping galaxies like invisible tides. But Pisces stars point toward another celestial story, one not of fish, but of a golden ram whose fleece would inspire legendary quests. Just beyond the western fish glimmers Aries, its faint stars belying an epic tale of sacrifice and destiny that would echo from Colchis to the stars themselves. Aries burns faint but fierce in the night sky, its compact triangle of stars holding a legend that shaped the ancient world, the tale of the Golden Fleece. This constellation wasn't just a celestial ram to the Greeks, it was the very creature whose golden pelt launched one of mythology's greatest quests. According to legend, the ram carried the royal children Phrixus and Hel across the Black Sea to safety, its fleece later becoming the prize Jason and the Argonauts risked everything to recover. But here's the twist, Aries' significance stretches far beyond adventure. For over 2 millennia, its stars marked the starting point of the zodiac, the spot where the sun crossed the celestial equator at the vernal equinox. Babylonian astronomers called this junction the gateway of the gods, aligning their new year with this moment of cosmic balance. Temples from Egypt to Persia were built to capture the equinox sunrise precisely as it entered Aries, turning the constellation into a celestial clock that governed planting, harvests, and even empires. Modern stargazers might be surprised to learn that due to Earth's wobble, a phenomenon called precession, the equinox point has since drifted into Pisces and will eventually enter Aquarius, hence the much-debated Age of Aquarius. Yet Aries retains its symbolic power. Its brightest star, Hammel, still guides astronomers today, not as a waypoint for sailors, but as a benchmark for exoplanet hunters. In 2011, scientists discovered a Saturn-sized world orbiting Hammel, a gas giant whose existence might have astounded the Babylonian astrologers who first charted this star's path. But Aries' cosmic legacy hides a celestial irony. Just beyond its horns lurks Cancer, the crab, a constellation so faint it's often overlooked, yet whose mythology intertwines with Aries' own. In one version of the Golden Fleece legend, the crab was sent by Hera to distract Hercules during his battle with the Hydra, only to be crushed underfoot and placed in the stars as a lesson in perseverance. It's poetic that these two constellations, one bold, the other subtle, share the sky. Their stories a reminder that even the smallest cosmic players can alter fate. Cancer skitters across the night sky as one of the faintest zodiac constellations, a celestial crustacean whose dim stars belie an outsized role in cosmic storytelling. In Greek myth, this unassuming crab earned its place among the stars through sheer tenacity, sent by the goddess Hera to distract Hercules during his battle with the Lernaean Hydra. Though swiftly crushed underfoot, the crab's brief moment of defiance so impressed Hera that she immortalized it in the heavens. Yet Cancer's legacy extends far beyond this mythological footnote. Its greatest treasure isn't in its stars, but in what lies between them, the Beehive Cluster, a sparkling swarm of young stars so bright that ancient astronomers mistook it for a celestial cloud. Galileo, peering through his early telescope in 1609, resolved it into dozens of individual suns, a revelation that shattered perceptions of the cosmos scale. What makes the Beehive Cluster extraordinary is how it mirrors Cancer's mythological role. Both are small but mighty. To the naked eye, it resembles a faint smudge of light, but binoculars reveal a glittering swarm of nearly 1,000 stars, all born from the same interstellar nursery some 600 million years ago. Modern astronomy uncovers deeper marvels here. The cluster's stars are drifting apart, slowly scattered by gravitational encounters like crabs dispersing with the tide. This process, called tidal dissolution, mirrors how galaxies evolve over eons, making Cancer a miniature laboratory for cosmic mechanics. The ancients who saw these stars as a crab's shell might have chuckled to learn their cluster behaves like sea creatures responding to invisible celestial currents. Yet Cancer holds another secret. Its position in the zodiac marks the sun's highest point in the northern sky during summer solstice, a fact the ancient Egyptians celebrated by aligning temples to its rising. The Maya, meanwhile, tied Cancer's appearance to rainy season rituals, proving that even faint constellations could dictate earthly calendars. It's poetic that the crab's greatest legacy isn't as Hercules' foe, but as a celestial timekeeper, its subtle stars measuring seasons long after its mythic battle faded. But Cancer's stars point toward a far more dramatic celestial beast. Just beyond its claws roars Leo, the lion, whose brilliant heart star Regulus has guided kings and navigators for millennia. His story begins not with a pinch, but with a roar that shakes the heavens. Leo roars across the night sky with regal brilliance, its sickle-shaped mane dominated by the fiery heart star Regulus, a celestial beast whose story begins with one of mythology's most epic showdowns. This constellation isn't just any lion. It's the Nemean lion, the invincible creature slain by Hercules during his first labor. According to legend, the lion's hide was impervious to weapons, forcing the hero to grapple it bare-handed before strangling it with his immense strength. Zeus honored the lion's might by placing it among the stars, forever immortalizing the confrontation between mortal courage and divine challenge. Yet the Egyptians saw something far older in these same stars, the lioness goddess Sekhmet, whose breath scorched the earth as both destroyer and healer. Temples along the Nile aligned to Leo's rising, invoking Sekhmet's dual nature as civilizations sought her protection from plague and drought. It's a striking parallel, two cultures, one seeing a defeated monster, the other a revered deity, both recognizing raw power in this patch of sky. Regulus, Leo's alpha star, has been a celestial anchor for millennia. Its name means Little King in Latin, a title earned through its precise movements. This star once marked the summer solstice for Babylonian astronomers, its position dictating the rise and fall of empires. Persian skywatchers called it Venant, the heart of the lion, while Polynesian navigators used it to chart courses across the Pacific. Modern astronomy reveals why Regulus commanded such respect. It spins so rapidly, completing a rotation in just 16 hours, that it's flattened into an oval, its equator bulging with centrifugal force. This stellar dynamo also anchors a quadruple star system, its gravitational dance visible through telescopes as a cosmic waltz. It's poetic that the same star guiding ancient timekeepers now helps astronomers study extreme stellar physics, bridging myth and mathematics. Yet Leo's legacy extends beyond single stars. The constellations, sickle, asterism, a backward question mark of stars forming the lion's head and mane, has served as a celestial waypoint since antiquity. Within its curve lies the Leo triplet, a trio of galaxies locked in a gravitational embrace, their swirling arms visible through amateur telescopes. These distant islands of stars echo Sekhmet's duality. While some galaxies birth new suns in dazzling bursts, others cannibalize their neighbors' creation and destruction, entwined like the lioness's twin roles. But Leo's stars point toward another celestial story, one not of claws and conquest, but of cosmic balance. Just beyond the lion's tail gleams Libra, the scales, whose stars were once considered part of Scorpius' claws. Their mythology shifts the narrative from raw power to measured justice, as if the sky itself insists that every force must eventually meet its counterweight. Ophiuchus strides across the Milky Way like a celestial healer frozen in time, his massive frame gripping the Serpens, a constellation so prominent it splits the snake cleanly in two. This starry figure represents Asclepius, the Greek god of medicine whose skill with potions and herbs grew so great he could resurrect the dead, a power that unnerved Hades himself. According to legend, Zeus struck Asclepius down with a thunderbolt for disrupting the natural order, then honored his gifts by placing him among the stars, his serpent-entwined staff becoming the universal symbol of healing we still use today. But here's what most star charts won't tell you. Ophiuchus isn't just another constellation, it's the sun's secret 13th stop on its yearly journey through the zodiac. For 18 days each December, the sun passes through Ophiuchus before entering Sagittarius, a fact Babylonian astronomers knew but modern horoscopes conveniently ignore. The serpent-bearer's connection to healing runs deeper than myth. Ancient stargazers noted that when Ophiuchus rose high in the night sky, epidemics often waned, a correlation that led the Romans to build temples to Aesculapius, their name for Asclepius during plagues. Modern astronomers discovered a possible celestial explanation. Ophiuchus straddles the Milky Way's equator, where dense star fields may have subtly influenced Earth's magnetosphere. Even more intriguing, the constellation's heart holds Barnard's star, the fastest-moving sun in our sky, racing toward Ophiuchus's outstretched hand at nearly 90 miles per second, as if drawn by some cosmic prescription. In 2020, Ophiuchus briefly seized the spotlight when a viral claim declared a galactic alignment would recalibrate zodiac signs. While the astronomy was dubious, the sun's December passage through Ophiuchus's routine, the hype revealed how hungry people are for celestial mystery. Yet the true marvel lies in an arrow aimed straight at the serpent-bearer's chest, Sagittarius, the smallest northern constellation, whose stars form a perfect celestial dart. Ancient skywatchers saw it as Apollo's arrow punishing Asclepius's hubris, but modern telescopes reveal Sagittarius' tip points toward a colliding galaxy cluster, a cosmic bull's-eye where dark matter warps spacetime itself. This forgotten zodiac guardian's greatest lesson might be about perspective. Just as Ophiuchus challenges tidy astrological systems, his stars remind us the universe refuses to fit into neat boxes. Whether as healer, disruptor, or cosmic archery target, the serpent-bearer's tail wins through history like the snakes in his grasp, always twisting, always revealing new truths to those willing to look beyond the familiar 12. Sagittarius flies across the summer sky as the smallest northern constellation, just 4 faint stars forming a perfect arrow, yet piercing through mythology and astronomy with surprising force. Greek legends gave this celestial dart 2 origins, either as Hercules' arrow loosed during his labors, or as Cupid's love-tipped projectile that struck gods and mortals alike. What's fascinating is how both interpretations, one of conquest, the other of desire, converge in Sagittarius' role as a cosmic signpost. Ancient Chinese astronomers saw these same stars as Tianjin, the heavenly arrow, aligning it with rituals to ward off evil spirits during celestial omens. Even the star names whisper of this duality. Sham, the Arabic word for arrow, shares the sky with Gamma Sagittae, a golden giant whose slow pulse resembles a drawn bowstring trembling before release. But Sagittarius' true magic lies in where it points. Trace the arrow's shaft upward through binoculars, and you'll strike the coat-hanger cluster, an asterism of 10 stars arranged in a perfect celestial clothes hanger, dangling against the Milky Way's glow. 19th century astronomers initially catalogued it as Broca's cluster, but amateur stargazers immortalized its whimsical shape, proving that even the smallest constellations can guide us to cosmic curiosities. Modern astrophotographers prize this region for its stark contrast, the coat-hanger's geometric precision floating amidst the chaos of interstellar dust, like an arrow's straight flight through a storm. The arrow's path takes an even more intriguing turn when viewed through the lens of ancient Chinese sky lore. Imperial astronomers plotted Sagittarius near Tianhu, the celestial fox, a mischievous shape-shifter whose constellation has since faded from Western charts. According to Tang Dynasty records, when the fox and arrow aligned, it signaled a time of upheaval where cleverness triumphed over brute force. It's poetic that modern telescopes reveal a cosmic echo of this tale. Sagittarius points toward Vulpecula, the little fox constellation where a dying star's remnant, the Dumbbell Nebula, expands like spectral foxfire in the void. Yet Sagittarius' greatest secret might be its silence. Unlike flashy constellations boasting first-magnitude stars or sprawling nebulas, this humble arrow proves that significance isn't measured in brightness or size, but in the stories we anchor to the stars. Whether as Hercules' weapon, a lover's dart, or a celestial fox hunter, its 4 quiet stars remind us that even the smallest marksman can leave enduring imprints on the sky's grand narrative. Vulpecula tiptoes across the summer sky like a whispered secret, a constellation so faint and young it carries no ancient myths, only the fingerprints of 17th-century astronomers. When Johannes Hevelius charted these stars in 1687, he envisioned a fox carrying a goose in its jaws, dubbing it Vulpecula cum Answer. Over time, the goose vanished from star charts, leaving only the sly celestial fox, its stars scattered like paw prints across the Milky Way. What makes Vulpecula extraordinary isn't its brightness, but what hides within its borders, the Dumbbell Nebula, a glowing hourglass of gas expelled by a dying star. Through even a modest telescope, this cosmic relic shimmers like a ghostly apple core suspended in space, its intricate structure making it a favorite test subject for astronomers tuning their optics. The nebula's crisp edges and delicate filaments reveal imperfections in telescope mirrors with startling clarity, turning Vulpecula into an unexpected workshop for perfecting humanity's vision of the cosmos. Modern stargazers know the dumbbell by its catalogue number Messier 27, but its story began 12,000 years ago when a sun-like star shrugged off its outer layers in a final, brilliant act of cosmic recycling. Today, those expanding gases stretch nearly 3 light-years across, their faint glow illuminated by the stellar corpse at their heart, a white dwarf no larger than Earth, yet weighing half as much as our Sun. This dense remnant serves as a preview of our own star's fate 5 billion years hence, a silent reminder that even constellations without ancient myths still hold epic tales of creation and decay. Yet Vulpecula guards another secret, one that bridges centuries of sky watching. Tucked near the fox's tail lies Broca's cluster, better known as the coat hanger. This celestial oddity isn't a true star cluster, but an asterism, a chance alignment of unrelated stars that, from Earth's perspective, forms a perfect coat hanger dangling in space. 18th century astronomers overlooked its whimsical shape, but modern binoculars reveal it with startling clarity, proving that even the faintest constellations can harbor cosmic surprises. The fox's greatest trick might be how it points beyond itself, its stars tracing an invisible path toward Cygnus, the celestial swan whose wings stretch across the Milky Way in a final, dazzling area. There, amid the star clouds of the Northern Cross, another stellar farewell unfolds, one not of a single star's death, but of an entire symphony written in light and dust. Lacerta slithers across the northern sky like an afterthought among celestial beasts, a modest zigzag of faint stars that most stargazers overlook. Unlike the grand mythological figures dominating the heavens, this constellation was born from scientific pragmatism. Polish astronomer Johannes Hevelius carved it from blank sky in 1687, naming it simply the Lizard to fill a gap between brighter neighbors. Yet within this unassuming reptilian shape lies a trove of cosmic secrets. Modern astronomers treasure Lacerta not for its brightness, but as a crossroads for stellar phenomena. Its patch of sky slices through the Milky Way's plane, making it a prime hunting ground for cataclysmic variable stars' binary systems, where a white dwarf vampire sips gas from its companion star until erupting in unpredictable outbursts. The most famous V830 Lacerta flares from invisibility to naked eye visibility every few decades, mimicking the lizard's sudden strikes in nature. What's fascinating is how Lacerta's modern scientific identity intertwines with ancient reptilian symbolism. Though the constellation itself is young, cultures worldwide projected lizard myths onto the stars. The Aboriginal Australians saw celestial goners in similar star patterns, their movements dictating seasonal changes. Maya astronomers tracked a cosmic iguana whose position predicted eclipses, while Norse legends spoke of a dragon gnawing at the roots of the world tree, echoed in Lacerta's proximity to the pole star. This universal reptilian imagery suggests something profound. Whether as modern scientific tools or ancient celestial symbols, these starry creatures have always represented transformation and hidden power. Lacerta's greatest claim to fame emerges when we peer beyond visible light. Nestled within its borders lies BL Lacertae, the prototype of a bizarre class of galaxies called blazar supermassive black holes spearing Earth with jets of radiation as they devour stars. These cosmic lighthouses shine brightest in invisible wavelengths, their violent energy detectable only through radio telescopes and X-ray observatories. It's poetic that the constellation named for a humble lizard actually points towards some of the universe's most extreme phenomena, proving that even the faintest stars can gatekeep monumental discoveries. But Lacerta's stars whisper of another story, one not of reptiles but of regal authority. Just beyond the lizard's tail gleams Cepheus, the celestial king, whose five-sided constellation has guided navigators and storytellers since antiquity. His myth begins not with scientific classification, but with a royal family's tragic entanglement with the cosmos. Cepheus stands as a celestial king frozen in grief, his five-sided constellation resembling a child's drawing of a house tilted precariously in the northern sky. This starry monarch is forever bound to one of mythology's most dramatic family sagas, the tragic chain of events that saw his daughter Andromeda chained to a rock as sacrifice to the sea monster Cetus. According to Greek legends, Cepheus and his vain queen Cassiopeia brought this calamity upon themselves by boasting that their daughter outshone the Nereids in beauty, angering Poseidon. Yet Cepheus' stars tell a deeper story than mere royal folly. His constellation's position near the North Celestial Pole made it a vital navigational tool for ancient mariners. The line connecting Gamma Cephei to Alpha Cephei points unerringly toward Polaris, the North Star, a cosmic compass that Phoenician traders used to navigate the Mediterranean long before magnetic compasses existed. What makes Cepheus truly fascinating is how modern astronomy has transformed this mythical king into a cosmic laboratory. Nestled within his borders lies Delta Cephei, the prototype of a class of pulsating stars that serve as the universe's yardsticks. These stars rhythmically expand and contract like celestial hearts, their brightness variations precisely correlating with their intrinsic luminosity. A discovery by Henrietta Swan Leavitt in 1912 that allowed astronomers to measure distances across the cosmos. When Edwin Hubble used Cepheid variables to prove the Andromeda galaxy lay beyond the Milky Way, he was standing on the shoulders of this ancient constellation, its stars whispering secrets that reshaped our understanding of the universe's scale. Yet Cepheus' celestial household holds another marvel, the garnet star, Mu Cephei, a crimson supergiant so massive it could engulf our solar system out to Jupiter's orbit. Medieval Arab astronomers called it the Marooned One for its isolated brilliance, while William Herschel later described its hue as a very fine, deep garnet color. This dying star's violent fluctuations, it's predicted to explode as a supernova within the next 100,000 years, mirror the mythic king's own turbulent reign, where pride and punishment danced like binary stars locked in gravity's embrace. And just beyond Cepheus' outstretched arm glimmers a celestial queen whose constellation tells its own story of vanity and cosmic reckoning, his wife Cassiopeia, whose W-shaped throne swings perilously close to the pole, as if the gods themselves still debate her proper place in the heavens. Cassiopeia's W-shaped throne swings perilously close to the North Celestial Pole, a cosmic punishment that's far more than just mythological symbolism. It's a celestial dance encoded in the very fabric of our galaxy. The Vain Queen's constellation doesn't just hang upside down half the year. Its 5 brightest stars trace a path that mirrors the rotation of the Milky Way itself. Picture this: as Earth turns, Cassiopeia's W appears to cartwheel around Polaris, its orientation shifting like the hands of a cosmic clock. Ancient navigators used this motion to track time, but modern astronomy reveals a deeper truth. The plane of our solar system aligns so precisely with Cassiopeia that her stars seem to pivot around us, as if the universe itself conspired to keep the Queen on eternal display. Hidden within her constellation's shimmering borders lies evidence of celestial violence that would humble even the most arrogant monarch. The Cassiopeia, a supernova remnant, invisible to the naked eye, is the ghostly aftermath of a star that exploded around 1680, a cataclysm so bright it likely outshone Venus for weeks, though unrecorded in history. Today, its expanding debris field stretches 10 light-years across, a tapestry of shockwaves and stellar guts visible only through X-ray telescopes. What's haunting is how this stellar death mirrors Cassiopeia's myth. Just as the Queen's vanity brought downfall, the progenitor star's collapse came from exhausting its nuclear fuel, a cosmic parable about the dangers of burning too brightly. But Cassiopeia's stars whisper of another story, one written in the language of galactic mechanics. Her W shape isn't random, it's a signpost pointing toward the Milky Way's spiral arms. Follow the line from Gamma to Alpha Cassiopeiae, and you're tracing a path toward the Perseus arm, one of our galaxy's major stellar highways. Radio astronomers have mapped vast streams of hydrogen gas flowing along this invisible corridor, a river of star-forming material that echoes the celestial rivers of Greek mythology. It's as if Cassiopeia, for all her mythical flaws, became an accidental guide to the universe's grand design. And just beyond her upside-down throne, barely visible to the naked eye, crouches a celestial hound forever waiting in the wings, Canis Venatici, the hunting dogs. Their brightest star, Cor Caroli, was named for the heart of King Charles I, whose own fate mirrored Cassiopeia's in its tragic irony. The dog's leash stretches toward Boötes the herdsman, creating an interstellar tableau where myth and history collide under the same starry sky. Canis Major bounds across the winter sky with brilliant intensity, its alpha star Sirius shining brighter than any other nighttime star, a beacon that has guided civilizations for millennia. To the ancient Egyptians, Sirius wasn't just a celestial marker. It was the soul of the goddess Isis, whose heliacal rising when the star reappeared after months hidden by the sun's glare heralded the annual flooding of the Nile. This cosmic event, occurring just before dawn in mid-July, was so precise that it anchored their entire calendar, signaling the rebirth of fertile silt across the valley. Temples aligned to Sirius' first gleam still stand today, their corridors designed to illuminate inner sanctums only on this sacred morning. The Greeks, meanwhile, saw Sirius as the Hound of Orion, forever chasing the Pleiades across the heavens, its scorching summer appearance lending it the nickname, the Dog Star, a time when they believed its heat combined with the sun's to create the stifling, dog days of the season. But perhaps the most astonishing Sirius lore comes from the Dogon people of Mali, whose astronomical knowledge predates telescopes by centuries. Their oral traditions describe Sirius as part of a triple-star system, a claim that baffled scientists until the 19th century when Sirius B, a dense white dwarf companion, was discovered. Even more remarkably, Dogon cosmology speaks of a third star they call Emya, which modern astronomy has yet to confirm but continues to investigate. This uncanny accuracy raises profound questions. How did an isolated African tribe possess such precise celestial knowledge, and what other cosmic truths might be encoded in ancient star lore? Modern science has peeled back even more layers of Sirius mystery. That faint companion, Sirius B, is a stellar corpse packing the sun's mass into an Earth-sized sphere. A teaspoon of its material would weigh over 5 tons. Astronomers study this white dwarf to understand stellar life cycles, watching as its intense gravity bends light from Sirius in subtle arcs visible only with space telescopes. Meanwhile, satellite data reveals Sirius motion through space. It's actually drifting toward us at nearly 5 miles per second, destined to brighten further over the next 60,000 years before eventually receding into the cosmic distance. Yet Sirius' brilliance isn't just scientific, it's woven into humanity's shared story. Polynesian navigators used it to steer double-hulled canoes across the Pacific, while Norse legends saw it as the torch held by the giant Orvandil, frozen in the sky. Even today, Sirius pierces through light pollution with a blue-white shimmer, a reminder that some stars transcend culture and epoch. And just as this celestial hound has guided travelers for ages, its gaze seems fixed on another cosmic wonder, the winding band of the Milky Way, where a river of stars carries myths of creation, destruction, and the eternal flow of time. Eridanus winds across the southern sky like a celestial river frozen in time, its meandering string of stars holding one of mythology's most tragic cautionary tales. Greek legends paint this constellation as the watery grave of Phaethon, the reckless son of the sun god Helios, who lost control of his father's flaming chariot and scorched the earth. Zeus struck him down with a thunderbolt to prevent further catastrophe, and as Phaethon plunged from the heavens, his grieving sister's tears formed the waters of Eridanus. But this cosmic river flows through more than one culture's imagination. The ancient Egyptians saw these stars as their life-giving Nile, its annual floods mirrored in the constellation's serpentine path. Babylonian astronomers mapped it as the Euphrates, the great artery of their civilization, while Polynesian navigators recognized its brightest star, Achernar, as a waypoint for ocean voyages, proving that across continents, humanity instinctively projected its most vital waterways onto this celestial current. What makes Achernar extraordinary isn't just its brilliance as the ninth brightest star in the night sky, but its bizarre shape. Modern observations reveal this star spins so rapidly, over 155 miles per second at its equator, that it's flattened into an oval like a cosmic egg balanced on its tip. The centrifugal force stretches Achenar's diameter at the equator by over 50% compared to its poles, creating a stellar profile so extreme it defies most models of stellar physics. It's poetic that the river constellations in point host such a turbulent star, as if Phaethon's fatal plunge left a permanent disturbance in the celestial waters. Yet Eridanus whispers of another story, one where sacrifice tempers tragedy. Near its headwaters lies the Eridanus supervoid, a baffling billion light-year expanse of near-empty space that challenges our understanding of cosmic structure. Some theorists propose it's a scar from an ancient collision between universes, while others see it as evidence of exotic physics beyond current models. This enigmatic gulf mirrors the mythical river's duality, both destructive and life-giving, a reminder that even in emptiness, the cosmos holds secrets waiting to reshape our understanding of reality. And just as rivers feed the sea, Eridanus stars pour into a celestial ocean of another kind, the vast stretch of sky where Orion's hunter eternally kneels, his story forever intertwined with the waters that birthed him. Ara smolders low in the southern sky, an ancient celestial altar where the fires of creation still burn. To the Greeks, this compact constellation represented the very hearth upon which the Olympian gods made their sacred oaths, its stars forming the pyre where divine pacts were sealed in flame. Yet cross the Atlantic, and these same stars transformed into the sacred fire pits of the Inca, where priest astronomers called upon Inti, the sun god, to accept offerings that ensured cosmic balance. What's astonishing is how both cultures, separated by an ocean, saw Ara not just as a symbol of sacrifice, but as a portal between earthly and divine realms, a concept modern astronomy curiously echoes. Positioned just west of Scorpius Stinger, Ara lies in the richest starfields of the Milky Way, its location near our galaxy's core making it a window into the universe's most violent and creative forces. Peer through a telescope here, and you're gazing into a celestial forge where stars are born at a staggering rate. The Ara OB1 Association, a sprawling stellar nursery, hosts massive young stars so luminous they sculpt the surrounding gas into eerie pillars with their solar winds. Within these cosmic smithies, astronomers have detected protoplanetary disks larger than our entire solar system, their swirling dust and gas hinting at worlds in the making. It's as if the ancients intuited this creative fury when they linked Ara to transformative fire rituals, their myths mirroring the astrophysical reality we now observe. But Ara guards a more enigmatic secret: the stellar triangle. This nearly perfect equilateral formation of three bright stars, Beta, Gamma, and Sigma Ari, has puzzled skywatchers for centuries. The Inca allegedly used its alignment to mark the June solstice, when sunlight would strike their sacred gold mirrors at precise angles to ignite ritual fires. Modern stargazers can still trace this triangle's sharp geometry, its sides measuring almost exactly 10 degrees across a celestial measuring cup for the gods. The triangle's western point, Beta Ari, is itself a cosmic marvel, a blue-white giant rotating so fast it's flattened into an oblate spheroid, its equator spinning at over 200,000 miles per hour. Perhaps the most poetic discovery in Ara is the God's Hand, a cometary globule CG4, where radiation from nearby stars is literally sculpting a nebula into the shape of a clenched fist, as if the cosmos itself reaches toward the altar. This interplay of destruction and creation, so central to ancient fire rituals, unfolds daily in Ara's depths, where dying stars seed the next generation with their ashes. And as the Milky Way's core rises like smoke from this cosmic brazier, it points toward another celestial wonder, one whose stars pulse with the rhythm of celestial music. Triangulum glows faint but purposeful in the northern sky, a perfect cosmic triangle formed by just 3 stars, yet pulsing with hidden significance across cultures and millennia. To the ancient Babylonians, these stars represented the plow of their god Marduk, while Greek astronomers saw them as the Nile River Delta, a sacred geometric shape symbolizing fertility and the meeting of worlds. But perhaps most intriguing is how this constellation mirrors humanity's earliest tools. The surveyor's triquetra, the mason's set square, even the delta symbol, delta, used in mathematics to signify change. It's as if the universe etched a universal language of angles into the heavens, a celestial blueprint for measuring both earth and sky. Nestled within Triangulum's modest borders lies a galactic giant, the Triangulum Galaxy, our Milky Way's 3rd largest neighbor after Andromeda. Through binoculars, it appears as a faint smudge, but telescopes reveal a swirling pinwheel of stars, gas, and dust spanning nearly 50,000 light-years. What's astonishing is how this cosmic island mirrors the constellation's triangular theme. Its spiral arms stretch into distinct angular formations, while its core glows with newborn stars arranged in geometric clusters. Modern astronomers study it as a pristine example of galactic evolution, its relatively quiet history offering clues about how galaxies avoid violent collisions. Yet ancient stargazers might have sensed its significance too. The way its faint light aligns with Triangulum stars creates a nested triad, like cosmic matryoshka dolls of meaning. This constellation's practical legacy shines brightest in its ties to navigation. Polynesian voyagers used celestial triangles to pinpoint islands across the Pacific, while medieval Islamic astronomers employed triangulums shaped to calibrate astrolabes. Even today, spacecraft like NASA's Voyager probes use triangular star patterns, including triangulums, to orient themselves in the interstellar void. It's poetic that a constellation named for its shape has become a silent guide for humanity's greatest journeys, both terrestrial and cosmic. But triangulum's deepest mystery might be its role as a forgotten celestial compass. Trace a line from its alpha star through the Andromeda galaxy, and you'll strike the pole of the ecliptic, the imaginary point around which our solar system's planets orbit. Ancient cultures from Egypt to China built monuments aligned to this cosmic axis, suggesting they may have recognized triangulum's hidden function as a gateway to the heavens' grand mechanics. The same stars that guided surveyors' hands now guide our understanding of the universe's hidden geometry, proving that even the smallest constellation can point toward infinite discovery. Pleiades glows faintly in the southern sky, a constellation born not from ancient myths, but from the practical needs of 18th century sailors. French astronomer Nicolas Louis de Lacaille carved these stars into celestial maps during his expedition to the Cape of Good Hope, naming them La Boussole after the magnetic compass that guided ships through uncharted waters. Unlike the dramatic beasts and heroes of classical constellations, Pleiades represents something far more human, our relentless drive to navigate the unknown. Its dim stars form a simple quadrilateral, easily overlooked next to the brilliance of neighboring Vela or Puppis, yet its unassuming presence belies a cosmic irony. The very tool that helped explorers conquer Earth's oceans now floats among the stars, a silent tribute to humanity's first steps beyond the horizon. What Pleiades lacks in brightness, it makes up for in hidden treasures. Peer through a telescope, and you'll find NGC 2818, a barred spiral galaxy tilted edge-on like a spinning coin suspended in the void. Its dust lanes ripple with the births of new stars, while globular clusters like NGC 2817 glitter around it like scattered jewels. These deep sky objects aren't just pretty sights, they're cosmic laboratories. Astronomers study Pleiades galaxies to understand how magnetic fields shape star formation, tracing invisible forces that twist gas into stellar nurseries. It's poetic that a constellation named for a navigational tool now helps us map the magnetism threading the universe itself, but Pleiades holds an even deeper connection to its namesake. Recent radio telescope observations reveal that some of its distant galaxies harbor supermassive black holes whose jets align with intergalactic magnetic fields, like celestial compass needles pointing toward unseen cosmic currents. These discoveries echo the compass's earthly purpose, suggesting that magnetism may guide the evolution of entire galaxies just as it once guided ships. The same invisible forces that pulled early mariners toward true north now pull astrophysicists toward new understandings of cosmic structure. And just as Pleiades stars once oriented sailors to earthly destinations, another constellation nearby ticks with the precision of a cosmic clock, one whose rhythmic pulse has measured the heavens since time immemorial. Horologium swings silently through the southern sky, a constellation so faint it escapes casual notice, yet its stars trace the very essence of time itself. Named for the pendulum clock in the 18th century by French astronomer Nicolas Louis de Lacaille, this unassuming collection of stars embodies humanity's eternal quest to measure the cosmos. Unlike the dramatic myths of Orion or Cassiopeia, Horologium's story begins with gears and precision, a celestial tribute to the inventions that tamed time into something humans could track. But look deeper, and you'll find this constellation's true brilliance lies not in its stars, but in what they point toward galaxies so distant their light is a fossilized echo of the universe's youth. At the heart of horologium lies a cosmic time capsule, the horologium supercluster, a sprawling web of galaxies stretching over 500 million light-years. Astronomers study this region like archaeologists sifting through layers of history, observing how galaxy clusters evolve over eons. One standout is NGC 1433, a massive elliptical galaxy devouring its neighbors in slow motion, a gravitational dance that plays out over timescales longer than human civilization itself. It's poetic that a constellation named for a clock helps us witness the universe's grand, patient rhythms, where a single galactic collision might take 1 billion years to complete. Yet horologium's ties to timekeeping stretch far beyond modern telescopes. Its stars align with ancient traditions, the sundials of Egypt, the water clocks of Babylon, even the celestial calendars of Polynesian navigators who used star positions to track seasons. The pendulum clock it honors revolutionized science in the 17th century, enabling Galileo to measure pendulum swings and hygiens to build the first precise timekeepers. Today, that legacy extends to atomic clocks so accurate they'd lose less than a second over 15 billion years, nearly the age of the universe. Horologium bridges these eras, connecting the sun's shadow on a temple floor to the vibrations of cesium atoms in a lab. But this constellation hides a final marvel, the cosmic reef, a nebula where stellar winds sculpt gas into delicate filaments resembling clockwork gears. Here, newborn stars ignite in shimmering chains, their light etching patterns as precise as the ticks of a metronome. It's as if the universe itself honors horologium's namesake, crafting celestial mechanics in the depths of space, a reminder that time is both our invention and the fabric of reality, written in starfire and shadow. Sculptor drifts across the southern sky as one of the most enigmatic constellations, a celestial artist's studio without an ancient myth to call its own. Unlike Orion or Hercules, whose stories echo through millennia, Sculptor was carved from blank sky in the 18th century by French astronomer Nicolas Louis de Lacaille. He envisioned it as a sculptor's workshop, complete with a block of marble and tools, immortalizing the Enlightenment's celebration of human creativity among the stars. Yet this modern constellation hides ancient cosmic secrets far older than its name. Nestled within its borders lies the Sculptor Galaxy Group, a gathering of spiral and dwarf galaxies that serves as our backyard laboratory for understanding the universe's hidden architecture. At the heart of this galactic collective shines NGC 253, the Sculptor Galaxy, a sprawling spiral so close and bright it's visible through amateur telescopes. But the real marvel isn't what we see, it's what we can't. This galaxy group has become a proving ground for dark matter research, its member galaxies moving in ways that betray the gravitational tug of invisible mass. Astronomers map these subtle dances to reconstruct the cosmic web's scaffolding, revealing how dark matter, that mysterious substance outweighing visible matter 5-to-1, shapes the universe's grand design. It's poetic that a constellation named for human artistry helps us study nature's most elusive medium, as if the stars themselves honor the sculptor's quest to reveal form hidden within raw material. The Sculptor Galaxy Group also hosts a cosmic anomaly, NGC 288, a globular cluster defying expectations by existing far from any major galaxy. Like a marble dropped from some celestial workbench, it wanders the intergalactic void, challenging theories about where such clusters form. Nearby, the dwarf galaxy Sculptor DSPH, one of the Milky Way's faintest satellites, whispers clues about galaxy evolution, its ancient stars preserving chemical fingerprints from the universe's youth. These unassuming celestial objects transform Lacaille's modest constellation into a frontier for cutting-edge astrophysics, proving that even the newest constellations can harbor the oldest stories. But sculptor's greatest spectacle lies deeper still, the furnace of creation. This region, officially part of neighboring Fornax but spilling into sculptor's domain, crackles with star-forming energy. Here, galaxies collide in slow motion, their gravitational tangles igniting starbursts that outshine entire solar systems. The Hubble Space Telescope has captured towering pillars of gas here, reminiscent of its iconic pillars of creation, but on an intergalactic scale. It's as if the universe itself took up the sculptor's chisel in this corner of the sky, carving new worlds from the raw material of chaos. And just beyond this cosmic workshop, another constellation waits, one whose stars flicker with the glow of celestial jewels. Fornax smolders in the southern sky like a cosmic crucible, a constellation named not for mythical heroes but for the alchemist's furnace, where base elements were said to transform into gold. This unassuming patch of stars, mapped in the 18th century by Lacaille, carries a legacy far older than its astronomical classification. Medieval alchemists would have recognized its symbolic power, a celestial forge where the universe itself performs its most profound transmutations. Today, we see this play out not in lead-to-gold fantasies, but in the dwarf galaxies and star clusters simmering within Fornax's borders, natural laboratories where the alchemy of stellar nucleosynthesis unfolds on a galactic scale. At the heart of Fornax lies one of the cosmos' most efficient element factories, the Fornax dwarf spheroidal, a satellite galaxy of the Milky Way so packed with ancient stars it resembles a celestial spice rack of heavy elements. Here, generations of stars have lived, died, and recycled their guts into space, enriching the galaxy with carbon, oxygen, and iron, the very ingredients of planets and life. Nearby, the Fornax cluster of galaxies showcases this process in overdrive, with elliptical galaxies like NGC 1399 acting as cosmic blast furnaces. Their supermassive black holes pump energy into surrounding gas, creating shockwaves that trigger new star birth while scattering synthesized elements across intergalactic space. It's as if the alchemist's dream of elemental transformation was prophesying these very astrophysical processes, where stars act as celestial chemists forging atoms in their cores. Modern telescopes reveal Fornax's most poetic secret. It functions as a natural microscope for studying stellar life cycles. The globular cluster NGC 1049, for instance, is a snapshot of stellar evolution frozen in time. Its stars so densely packed that astronomers can observe multiple generations simultaneously, from red giants exhaling their outer layers to white dwarfs cooling like embers. X-ray observations catch neutron stars siphoning material from companions, while radio telescopes trace the faint whispers of molecular clouds coalescing into new solar systems. This constellation doesn't just host stars, it preserves the entire cosmic curriculum of how matter organizes itself, from primal hydrogen to the complex chemistry that makes worlds like ours possible. Yet Fornax's greatest revelation might be how it mirrors humanity's own journey of discovery. Just as alchemists once peered into their furnaces seeking universal truths, today's astronomers train telescopes on this constellation to decode the recipes written in starlight. The same processes that puzzled medieval minds, transmutation, purification, the hidden bonds between elements now unfold in plain sight across Fornax's starry expanse. And as if to underscore this connection, the constellation points toward a final wonder, a region where gravity itself bends light into a natural lens, magnifying galaxies so distant their light predates the very elements Fornax's stars have spent eons crafting. Microscopium glimmers faintly in the southern sky, a constellation so subtle it escapes all but the most determined stargazers, yet its unassuming presence belies a legacy of cosmic discovery. Named in the 18th century by French astronomer Nicolas Louis de Lacaille, this tiny observer wasn't inspired by mythic heroes or beasts, but by the era's revolutionary tool, the microscope. Lacaille's star maps celebrated human ingenuity, transforming the heavens into a celestial cabinet of scientific instruments. While its stars form no dramatic shapes, their scientific significance is anything but modest. Nestled within microscopium's borders lies a treasure trove of red dwarf stars, small, cool suns that have become prime hunting grounds for exoplanets with potentially habitable atmospheres. What makes this constellation extraordinary is its role in modern astronomy's most delicate art, studying the chemical fingerprints of distant worlds. The star O Microscopii, barely visible to the naked eye, hosts a young planetary system ringed by a vast debris disk. Here, astronomers have detected atmospheric sodium and hydrogen swirling around its planet's elements that could hint at volcanic activity or even the precursors of life. The star's relative dimness works in science's favor. Unlike brighter stars whose glare drowns out subtle spectral signals, O Microscopii's gentle light allows telescopes to dissect its planet's atmospheres with unprecedented precision. It's poetic that a constellation named for magnification now helps humanity scrutinize alien skies. For amateur astronomers, Microscopium presents a delightful challenge, a test of both equipment and patience. Its brightest star, Gamma Microscopii, shines at magnitude 4.7, barely visible under light-polluted skies. Yet patient observers with binoculars can trace its subtle arc, discovering along the way a celestial irony. The constellation honoring the microscope's power demands telescopic vision to appreciate fully. The thrill lies in the hunt, connecting these faint dots to reveal Lacaille's original vision, a tribute to humanity's relentless curiosity. But Microscopium's stars point toward an even grander cosmic tool. Just beyond its border lies a natural phenomenon so powerful it bends the fabric of space itself, a gravitational lens that magnifies the universe's most distant objects like a celestial telescope forged by the cosmos. Telescopium stretches across the southern sky like a celestial tribute to humanity's greatest invention, the telescope itself. Unlike constellations born from ancient myth, this unassuming pattern of stars was carved from the heavens in the 18th century by French astronomer Nicolas Louis de Lacaille, who sought to immortalize the tool that revolutionized our understanding of the cosmos. Its modest stars form no dramatic shape, but their significance burns bright. Here, among Telescopium's faint glimmers, lies a monument to Galileo's first daring glimpse of Jupiter's moons, to Edwin Hubble's discovery of galaxies beyond our own, to every lens and mirror that has ever turned the night sky from a tapestry of mystery into a map of infinite possibility. Nestled within Telescopium's borders lies a cosmic laboratory, the Telescopium Group, a cluster of galaxies so distant their light takes over 100 million years to reach us. Through modern telescopes, this gathering of spiral and elliptical galaxies appears like a swarm of fireflies frozen in time, their gravitational dances revealing secrets of dark matter and galactic evolution. But the true marvel is how these distant islands of stars echo the very purpose of Telescopium's namesake. Just as Galileo's primitive spyglass revealed craters on the moon, today's instruments dissect the Telescopium Group's collisions and star-forming regions, proving that every advancement in optics unlocks new chapters in the universe's story. This constellation's legacy isn't just about looking outward, it's about gratitude. Ancient cultures thanked the gods for harvests or victory in battle, but Telescopium represents a different kind of reverence. humanity's silent nod to the tools that expanded our cosmic vision. The Aboriginal Australians might have sensed this when they traced emu shapes in the dark patches of the Milky Way, just as Polynesian navigators honored their star compasses. There's a profound humility in naming a constellation after an instrument, as if to acknowledge that without these crafted lenses and polished mirrors, the heavens would remain a closed book. And yet, telescopium stars whisper of a final irony. The very telescopes it honors now reveal objects within its borders that defy its modest appearance, like the quasar Pleiades 2001-55-304, a supermassive black hole's jet blazing across 12 billion light-years. This beacon, visible only through advanced optics, shines toward us from an era when the universe was barely a fifth of its current age. It's as if the constellation itself is winking at us, a reminder that every tool we invent to probe the cosmos inevitably leads to discoveries that outshine our wildest expectations. But telescopium isn't alone in this celestial workshop. Just beyond its starry lens glimmers another constellation, one not of human invention, but of divine craftsmanship. Ara, the altar, burns low in the southern sky, where ancient myths and modern astronomy collide in a tale of cosmic sacrifice and stellar rebirth. Grus stretches across the southern sky like a celestial crane mid-flight, a constellation born not from ancient myth, but from the meticulous star charts of Dutch navigators in the late 16th century. While it lacks the epic tales of Greek or Babylonian constellations, Grus carries profound significance for cultures attuned to the rhythms of winged migration. The Aboriginal peoples of Australia saw in these stars the spirit of Brolga, the dancing crane whose movements dictated seasonal changes and sacred ceremonies. Their stories describe how Brolga's flight path mirrored the constellation's angle above the horizon, a celestial map guiding them to water sources and ceremonial grounds. It's a reminder that even constellations without classical mythology still pulse with cultural meaning, their stars woven into humanity's oldest survival narratives. Modern astronomy reveals Grus as far more than a navigational marker. It's a window into the violent ballet of colliding galaxies. Nestled within its borders lies the Grus Quartet, a group of 4 galaxies locked in a gravitational tug of war spanning hundreds of millions of years. Telescopes capture their spiral arms stretched into long, luminous streamers, cosmic debris from repeated close encounters. One galaxy, NGC 7582, exhibits a bizarre double nucleus, likely the result of 2 smaller galaxies merging at its core. These collisions aren't destruction but transformation. Stellar nurseries ignite in the chaos, birthing new generations of stars from the wreckage. It's poetic that a constellation named for a graceful bird now helps us study the universe's most dramatic crashes, proving that even in chaos, creation takes flight. The crane's brightest star, Alnair, shines like a beacon at the bird's heart. Its name derived from the Arabic phrase al-Nayr, meaning the bright one. This blue-white subgiant burns 20 times more luminous than our sun, its light traveling 90 light-years to reach Earth. What makes Alnair extraordinary isn't just its brilliance, but its role in astrophysical detective work. Scientists study its ultraviolet spectrum to understand how stars like this seed the cosmos with heavy elements, their stellar winds scattering carbon and oxygen into interstellar space. Polynesian navigators used Alnair's position to chart courses across the Pacific, while early Arab astronomers marked it as a seasonal signpost, proof that a star's utility transcends cultural boundaries. But Grus guards its most spectacular secret. Near its tail feathers the Phoenix Cluster, a gathering of galaxies so massive it bends the fabric of space-time. This celestial phoenix isn't just a namesake, it's a cosmic resurrection story. At its core lies a supermassive black hole pumping energy into the surrounding gas, preventing it from cooling and forming new stars, a process astronomers call feedback. Yet against all odds, star birth persists at the cluster's edges, as if the universe itself refuses to let creation be extinguished. X-ray telescopes reveal vast loops of plasma swirling through the cluster like fiery plumage, each arc a testament to the dynamic tension between destruction and rebirth. It's as if the Crane constellation, long associated with migration and renewal, was destined to host this modern phoenix myth where galaxies rise again from the ashes of their own cataclysms. Phoenix rises from the southern sky like a celestial ember reborn, a constellation whose very name evokes the legendary firebird that cyclically regenerates from its own ashes. While this star pattern was officially mapped in the 16th century, its mythic roots stretch back millennia. The ancient Egyptians worshipped the Bennu, a heron-like solar deity associated with the Nile's annual floods and the sun's daily rebirth. Every morning, as Ra's solar bark emerged from darkness, the Bennu was said to perch on the sacred Benben stone, its cry heralding creation's renewal. Persian Zoroastrian traditions spoke of the Simurgh, a benevolent firebird whose feathers held healing powers and whose 300-year life cycle ended in a fiery nest, only for a new bird to emerge. These stories weren't mere fantasy. They encoded celestial truths about cyclical destruction and renewal, themes mirrored in the astrophysical processes unfolding within Phoenix's borders today. Peer through a telescope into this constellation's heart, and you'll find the Phoenix Dwarf Galaxy, a tiny, irregular island of stars orbiting the Milky Way. Unlike its namesake, this galaxy isn't reborn but slowly dying, its star formation flickering out as it's stripped of gas by our galaxy's gravity. Yet within this cosmic twilight, astronomers have spotted something extraordinary: pockets of newborn stars blazing defiantly in the galaxy's outer regions. It's as if Phoenix is living up to its mythological reputation, sparking stellar life even as its main body fades, a celestial metaphor for how destruction and creation dance on galactic scales. The true fire of this constellation, however, burns in its star-forming regions. The Phoenix molecular cloud complexes churn with protostars still wrapped in their natal gas, their fierce ultraviolet radiation sculpting the surrounding nebula into pillars that resemble flaming feathers. One standout is the Phoenix Flame Nebula, where young massive stars ionize hydrogen into glowing tendrils that stretch across light years. These regions aren't just pretty, they're cosmic laboratories. By studying Phoenix's stellar nurseries, astronomers have traced how supernova shockwaves from earlier star generations trigger new rounds of star birth, a self-perpetuating cycle that eerily mirrors the Firebird's mythic rebirth. But Phoenix's most breathtaking spectacle requires patience to witness. In 1987, a supernova detonated near the constellation's border, SN 1987A, its light taking 168,000 years to reach Earth. Telescopes later captured something astonishing: rings of gas around the dead star glowing as shockwaves slammed into them, forming a perfect triple ring structure that resembled a celestial Ouroboros. This wasn't just a star's death, it was the prelude to eventual rebirth, as the expelled heavy elements will one day seed new planets and life. The same explosion that scatters a star's guts across space also plants the seeds for future solar systems, a cosmic phoenix cycle playing out over eons rather than centuries. And just as the Firebird's legend transcends cultures, so too does Phoenix's celestial symbolism. Trace a line through its brightest stars, and you'll encounter Pavo, the peacock, another resplendent bird constellation whose tail feathers glitter with star clusters. Together, they form a celestial aviary where myth and science intertwine, reminding us that the universe's grandest stories are written not just in starlight, but in the endless dance of endings and beginnings. Pavo struts across the southern sky in a dazzling display of celestial plumage, a constellation as vibrant as the tropical bird that inspired its name. When Dutch explorers Pieter Dirk Zoon Kieser and Frederik de Houtman charted these stars in the late 16th century, they brought a touch of exotic wonder to the heavens, naming it after the peacocks they encountered during their voyages to the East Indies. Unlike ancient constellations steeped in mythology, Pavo represents something more tangible yet equally magical: humanity's fascination with Earth's most resplendent creatures, immortalized among the stars. The constellation's crowning jewel is its alpha star, Peacock, a name bestowed not by ancient astronomers, but by the British Royal Air Force in the 1930s as they developed stellar navigation systems. This blue-white giant burns over 2,000 light-years away, its luminosity 5,000 times that of our Sun. But Peacock's true significance lies beneath its dazzling surface. Astronomers study its spectrum like cosmic archaeologists, analyzing the star's metallicity, the abundance of elements heavier than hydrogen and helium, to unravel the chemical history of our galactic neighborhood. These elements, forged in the hearts of long-dead stars, tell a story of cosmic recycling that spans billions of years. Pavo's stars serve as more than just celestial decoration. They're windows into stellar evolution. Nestled within its borders lies NGC 6752, a globular cluster so dense with ancient stars that it resembles a swarm of fireflies frozen in time. This cluster's metal-poor stars act as time capsules, preserving the pristine chemistry of the early universe. Nearby, the galaxy IC 4651 showcases the opposite end of the cosmic life cycle, a sprawling spiral where newborn stars ignite in bursts of blue and white, their intense radiation sculpting nearby gas clouds into ethereal shapes. Yet Pavo's most breathtaking spectacle might be its namesake feature, the peacock tail, an asterism of stars that arcs through the Milky Way like a fan of celestial feathers. Through binoculars, this region resolves into a glittering stream of sapphire and gold stars, their arrangement so striking it's easy to imagine them as the cosmic counterpart to the bird's iridescent display. Modern astrophotographers often frame this area alongside the neighboring constellations of Telescopium and Aura, creating compositions where science and artistry collide. But just as the peacock's beauty conceals evolutionary purpose, Pavo's splendor hints at deeper cosmic mysteries. Its stars point toward a curious celestial neighbor, Musca the Flyer, a tiny constellation whose unassuming appearance belies its role in one of astronomy's most intriguing discoveries. Musca buzzes quietly in the southern sky, a tiny constellation often overlooked, yet its unassuming stars hold a peculiar honor among celestial animals. Unlike the majestic lions or soaring eagles dominating the heavens, this celestial fly represents something far humbler: the insects that have shaped ecosystems and mythology since life began. Dutch navigators Pieter Dirk Zoon Kieser and Frederik de Houtman mapped Musca in the 16th century, naming it for the common housefly, though its original title was Apis, the bee. Over time, astronomers swapped its stinger for wings, but the constellation's odd charm remains a reminder that even the smallest creatures can find a place among the stars. What makes Musca truly fascinating isn't just its naming quirks, but the cosmic shadow lurking within its borders, the dark Doodad Nebula. This serpentine cloud of interstellar dust stretches over 3 degrees of sky, its Inkai tendrils blotting out the Milky Way's glow like a celestial ink blot. Through binoculars, it resembles a fly's delicate wing veined with stardust, but telescopes reveal its true nature: a stellar nursery where gravity sculpts gas into potential new suns. The nebula's whimsical name belies its scientific significance. It's one of the closest and most accessible dark nebulae, offering astronomers a front-row seat to star formation's earliest stages. Indigenous cultures saw deeper meaning in Musca's celestial insect. The Wardaman people of northern Australia traced a similar star pattern they called the sugar bag fly, tied to honey-gathering rituals and dreamtime stories of creation. In Amazonian traditions, the Milky Way's dark patches were often linked to insects' veins in the cosmic jaguar's fur or trails left by celestial beetles. These myths share an uncanny thread: insects as mediators between worlds, their smallness belying their role in nature's grand cycles. It's poetic that modern science confirms this intuition. Without flies pollinating plants or recycling nutrients, entire ecosystems would collapse, much like Musca's dust clouds silently birth the stars that light our galaxy. But Musca's stars point toward another cosmic shapeshifter. Just beyond its wings glows Chameleon, a constellation whose namesake reptile embodies the sky's capacity for transformation. Like its earthly counterpart blending into forest canopies, Chameleon stars hide stellar nurseries where young suns flicker to life, their light shifting through veils of cosmic dust. Here, the universe itself plays the chameleon, changing colors, hiding secrets, and revealing them only to those who know how to look. Chameleon slinks through the southern sky like a master of disguise, a constellation so faint and secluded it could vanish before your eyes if you blink. Named for the color-shifting lizard, this celestial reptile lives up to its earthly counterpart's elusive reputation, hiding stellar secrets within its dim borders. Unlike the bold figures of Orion or Scorpius, Chameleon was only mapped in the 16th century by Dutch explorers, its stars forming no dramatic shape, but instead blending into the starry background like cosmic camouflage. Yet within this unassuming patch of darkness lies one of the Milky Way's most vibrant stellar nurseries, the Chameleon Complex, a sprawling network of molecular clouds where new stars are being sculpted from cosmic dust. These clouds aren't just passive incubators, they're dynamic workshops where gravity and magnetic fields dance in delicate balance. Telescopes like ALMA have peeled back the veil to reveal protostars wrapped in swirling disks of gas, future solar systems in the making. One standout is CHA 110,913, a fledgling star barely 8 times Jupiter's mass, surrounded by a miniature version of the disk that birthed our own planets. It's as if Chameleon is showing us snapshots of our solar system's infancy, frozen in stellar amber. The constellation's darkness, once a frustration for early astronomers, becomes its greatest gift, an absence of bright stars that allows telescopes to peer deep into these dusty cradles without glare. But Chameleon plays hard to get for northern skywatchers. Nestled deep in the southern celestial hemisphere, its stars never rise above the horizon for observers north of the tropics. Even from the southern U.S. or Mediterranean, only its northernmost tip grazes the horizon, a teasing glimpse of the cosmic reptile's tail. This elusiveness mirrors the real chameleon's talent for blending into its surroundings, as if the constellation itself is shy about revealing its treasures. Indigenous cultures of the southern hemisphere, however, knew these stars intimately. The Wardaman people of Australia saw in this region the Dreamtime lizard, a creator being whose movements shaped the land, while Polynesian navigators used its position to mark the changing winds of the Pacific. Just as you begin to think Chameleon's story is all about hiding, it offers a final surprise, a cosmic counterpoint to its reptilian subtlety. Tucked near its tail feathers lies a radiant neighbor, Apus, the bird of paradise. This constellation's name comes from the Greek apus, meaning footless, referencing early European explorers' mistaken belief that these exotic birds had no feet. Where chameleon lurks in shadow, Apus soars in brilliance, its stars forming a graceful arc that mirrors the plumage of its earthly namesake. The contrast couldn't be sharper, one constellation embodying secrecy, the other flamboyant display, yet together they paint a fuller picture of the southern sky's wonders. And hidden within Apus's stars lies another marvel, the globular cluster IC 4499, a dense swarm of ancient suns that may hold clues to our galaxy's violent youth. Apus soars through the southern sky like a fragment of paradise frozen in starlight, a constellation as enigmatic as the exotic birds that inspired its name. When Dutch explorers Pieter Dirk Zoon Kieser and Frederik de Houtman charted these stars in the late 16th century, they immortalized the legendary birds of paradise brought back from their voyages to the East Indies. These avian wonders, with their iridescent plumage and elaborate courtship dances, captivated European imaginations so profoundly that they earned a place among the heavens. Yet Apus holds more than just colonial fascination. Its stars form a delicate arc near the south celestial pole, a region Polynesian navigators called Punga, the anchor stone of the sky. To these master voyagers, Apus wasn't merely a pretty shape. Its position helped calibrate their star compasses, guiding double-hulled canoes across thousands of miles of open ocean. What makes Apus extraordinary is how its celestial geometry mirrors earthly ecology. The constellation's brightest stars, Alpha and Beta Apodes, trace a shallow curve resembling the bird of paradise's sweeping tail feathers, while fainter stars scatter like dropped plumes across the Milky Way. Modern astronomy reveals an even deeper connection. Nestled within Apus lies the IC 4499 globular cluster, a dense swarm of ancient stars whose metal-poor composition mirrors the isolation of New Guinea's rainforests, where real birds of paradise evolved in splendid seclusion. This cosmic counterpart to earthly biodiversity hints at a universal theme. Whether in star clusters or jungles, rarity and beauty often emerge from isolation. But Apus shares the southern sky with two other avian constellations, Pavo the Peacock and Grus the Crane, forming what astronomers call the Great Southern Bird Triangle. Together, these constellations frame one of the richest regions of the Milky Way, where dark nebulae twist like wings against star clouds. Polynesian navigators saw this triangle as a celestial flock guiding lost voyagers, while Aboriginal Australians wove its stars into dreamtime stories of creator beacons who scattered stardust to form the land. Today, telescopes uncover the scientific marvels hidden within this triangle. Stellar nurseries in Grus, colliding galaxies in Pavo, and in Apus, a mysterious gamma-ray source that might be a pulsar spinning silently in the void. The true magic of Apus lies in its duality. It's both a relic of colonial exploration and a timeless wayfinder for cultures who'd navigated by these stars for millennia. Its faint glow reminds us that the night sky is a palimpsest, where scientific discovery and ancient wisdom intertwine like the vines of a tropical canopy. And just as the bird of paradise's dance transcends language, Apus stars speak a silent poetry of guidance hidden in darkness, of beauty forged in isolation, and of connections that span oceans, centuries, and the infinite expanse between worlds. Triangulum Australe gleams in the southern sky like a perfect celestial jewel, a compact triangle of bright stars so symmetrical it seems drawn by divine geometry. Unlike its northern counterpart Triangulum, this southern triangle holds a special place in the lore of explorers and astronomers alike. Its three primary stars, Alpha, Beta, and Gamma Trianguli Australis formed such a precise equilateral shape that Portuguese navigators in the 1500s called it the Navigator's Triangle, using it to calibrate their sextants when the Southern Cross was obscured. The brilliance of these stars, particularly Alpha with its golden hue visible even through light pollution, made them indispensable for early Antarctic expeditions. Crews would align the triangle's base parallel to the horizon to estimate latitude, a trick still taught in some maritime schools today as a backup to GPS. But Triangulum Australe's significance stretches far beyond wayfinding. Modern astronomers treasure this constellation as a window into the Milky Way's hidden architecture. Its position just south of the galactic plane places it in a sweet spot close enough to reveal dense star fields, yet offset enough to avoid the obscuring dust clouds near the core. Through telescopes, the triangle frames a dazzling section of our galaxy's Norma arm, where young blue supergiants and ruby-red carbon stars mingle in a celestial tapestry. One standout is NGC 6025, an open cluster near Beta Trianguli Australis that resembles a sparkling shard of ice when viewed through binoculars. This cluster's stars are astrophysical clocks. Their precise ages help scientists map the Milky Way's spiral structure by serving as mileposts in the Grand Stellar Highway. Long before European sailors traced this triangle, Aboriginal Australians wove its stars into Dreamtime narratives. The Borong people of Victoria saw it as Tchingal, the emu's footprint, its 3 stars marking where the great celestial bird kicked dust during creation. Seasonal shifts in Tchingal's position signaled when to harvest emu eggs, a practice still honored in some communities today. Meanwhile, the Wardaman people of the Northern Territory linked the triangle to Gurangach, a rainbow serpent whose movements shaped riverbeds. These stories weren't just myths, they encoded sophisticated astronomical knowledge. Recent research reveals that Borong star maps, including Triangulum Australe's placement relative to the Coal Sack Nebula, correlate with oral histories describing a supernova witnessed by ancestors over 10,000 years ago. What makes this constellation truly captivating is how it bridges ancient wisdom and cutting-edge discovery. Hidden within its borders lies Rs Trianguli Australis, a binary star system where one star is slowly cannibalizing its companion, their gravitational dance emitting X-rays detectable across the cosmos. Astronomers study such systems to understand how stellar vampires reshape galactic evolution. Meanwhile, the triangle's alignment points toward an even greater cosmic tool. Just beyond its brightest star lies Cercinus, home to a galaxy spinning like a perfect celestial compass rose. Its spiral arms, traced by masers emitting microwave radiation, serve as natural directional markers for intergalactic navigation, a story waiting to be told. Cercinus glimmers faintly in the southern sky, a constellation so subtle it was overlooked by ancient astronomers but immortalized in the 18th century as the draftsman's compass. Its dim stars trace a delicate geometric shape, a tribute to the tools that mapped both Earth and heavens during the Age of Exploration. Unlike the bold figures of Greek mythology, Cercinus whispers its presence, a testament to humanity's quieter but equally profound fascination with precision and measurement. Yet within this unassuming constellation lies a cosmic powerhouse, the Cercinus Galaxy, one of the closest active galaxies to our Milky Way, its core seething with the energy of a supermassive black hole. This spiral galaxy, though faint to the naked eye, dazzles through telescopes with its dual nature, a serene swirl of stars masking a turbulent heart. Jets of radiation blast from its core, while rings of star-forming gas orbit in near-perfect circles, as if the universe itself honored the compass's geometric legacy. What's astonishing is how this galactic dynamo mirrors humanity's oldest myths. The ancient Egyptians revered the compass not just as a tool but as a symbol of divine order, linking it to Maat, the goddess of cosmic balance. Similarly, Chinese astronomers saw perfect circles in the heavens as emblems of harmony between Earth and sky. Ursa's galaxy, with its violent core and graceful spiral arms, embodies this duality: chaos and order spinning in celestial unison. But Ursa's stars tell a deeper story of connection. Its position near the celestial South Pole made it a hidden guide for Polynesian navigators, who used its subtle alignment with brighter constellations to steer across the Pacific. Aboriginal Australians, too, wove these stars into dreamtime narratives, interpreting their patterns as ancestral trails etched across the night. It's poetic that a constellation named for human ingenuity also served as a cosmic map for cultures who navigated by intuition and tradition. Now, modern astronomy reveals Ursa's grandest irony. Its galaxy is birthing stars at a rate that defies logic, with stellar nurseries ignited by the very black hole that could devour them. This interplay of creation and destruction echoes the compass's timeless role, drawing circles that both enclose and infinite. As if to underscore this harmony, Ursa points toward its celestial neighbor, Norma, the Carpenter's Square, where stars align in right angles and perfect curves. Together, they form a cosmic workshop where geometry isn't just a human invention, but a universal language written in the spiral arms of galaxies and the orbits of worlds. Here, at the intersection of myth and science, the night sky reveals its deepest truth. Every line we draw, whether on parchment or in starlight, connects us to the infinite. From the hunter Orion eternally fleeing Scorpius to the celestial swan Cygnus carrying souls across the Milky Way, these 44 cosmic narratives reveal something profound about humanity. We've never merely looked at the stars, we've conversed with them. For thousands of years, civilizations separated by oceans and epochs projected their dreams, fears, and discoveries onto the same celestial canvas, transforming random points of light into epic tales of love, sacrifice, and cosmic balance. What's astonishing isn't just the diversity of these stories, but their shared roots: how the Pleiades signaled planting seasons from Japan to Mesoamerica, or how Orion's belt guided both Polynesian navigators and Egyptian pyramid builders. These patterns in the sky became humanity's first storybooks, written in a universal language of starlight. Yet the true magic lies in how modern science deepens rather than diminishes these ancient myths. The Greeks imagined Perseus holding Medusa's head, never knowing that Andromeda's constellation would one day point us to an entire galaxy on a collision course with our own. The Dogon people's precise knowledge of Sirius' invisible companion star predates telescopes by centuries, while today's astronomers study stellar nurseries in Taurus that eerily mirror the bull's ancient role as a symbol of rebirth. It's as if the universe left breadcrumbs, myths hinting at truths we're only now uncovering with spectrographs and space probes. The line between astronomy and mythology was never really a line at all, but a spiral looping past and present together in an endless cosmic dance. So the next time you step outside on a clear night, remember you're not just observing the stars, you're joining a conversation that began when the first human wondered why those lights moved. Whether you trace the hero's journey in Hercules or spot the exoplanet hunting Kepler telescope's targets in Lyra, the night sky is alive with stories waiting to be claimed. Maybe you'll see your own life reflected in Cassiopeia's Vanity or find solace in the loyal hunting dogs of Cain's Venatici. That's the legacy of these 44 narratives. They're not relics, but living bridges between our world and the cosmos. Now we'd love to hear your part in this celestial story. Drop a comment below sharing the constellation that speaks to you most, whether it's one we've explored or your own personal star pattern. And if you've enjoyed this journey through the stars, hit subscribe to join us for more adventures where science and wonder collide. The universe has countless tales left to tell, and we're just getting started. Until next time, keep looking up. You never know what stories you might find written in